There we go. All right. I figured out how to click buttons. That's good. Well, welcome to episode 151. Yep. That's a
Good
number.
number.
That's
That's Mew in the Pokedex, right?
sure.
Okay.
Shows
Hey,
how
we take it.
much, shows my knowledge. I play Mario. So,
I was a Pokemon kid.
yeah, fair
Mario.
enough.
Mario came later. My brothers played a lot of Mario.
Hmm. So, I have dabbled a little bit, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. Anyway,
hmm
that is the episode number. Um, if you're watching live, hello. If you're watching on YouTube, this was recorded a few days in advance because when this drops, GDQ will have started. Go watch that after this, of course. But the timing actually works out quite well because you will have a run on the day this is dropped on the YouTube. So,
Yep. 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Be there if you can. If this is dropping before then, it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna be running some awesome games. GDQ's gonna be some awesome things. Drop some awesome donations towards the awesome Prevent Cancer Foundation, all that fun stuff.
of course. So, again, perfect time. But
Yep.
yep. So, well, speaking of, I'll have you introduce yourself.
Yep. Hi, hello. I'm DylanJayFox. I am a speedrunner. I have been in the space for a while now. I've been kicking around doing different things for going on 6 years. I stream on Twitch by the same username that you'll see here in the title, as well as in the description, assumedly. Again, DylanJayFox. Yeah, that's me.
Yep. All the socials are always linked on stream and yes, in the description. So click on those or whatever. But yep, I guess we'll go ahead and get started with your history in the scene, which all started how?
Specifically with speedrunning, it was not something I ever really saw when it was like beginning. As I mentioned, I've been here a good little bit now, about 5.5 years. So about 6, 7-ish years ago, give or take, a friend of mine, who was into New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I know you mentioned being a Mario runner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was streaming coinless speedruns. Coinless being like
Oh,
this weird
yes.
subcategory of any percent something something
I've
something
done some
canonless.
coinless in my day.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Not quite
Um,
that game, but
he,
close enough.
yep. He was doing runs of that, and I was watching, and I'm like, wow, this seems kind of cool, like neat, whatever. That friend was a runner by the name of Kieran SR, um, who does like a lot of Crash and stuff like that. And then shortly thereafter, I end up in a call watching a wrestling pay per view with a good friend of mine, Hypnoshark, who is very well known for his time in CTR. Between Kieran and him, eventually through by hook or by crook, I started looking at speedrunning more and more. Started watching CTR speedruns, was watching coinless speedruns, um, and I was like a casual streamer at the time. So eventually it reached a point where I was like, man, I love streaming casually, but I kind of want a goal or something to do. And I really like these Spyro games, but I've completed them dozens of times at this point. Like I've just played through them casually, beaten them, and then just finished. And just, then I would do it again and then do it again. And I kind of didn't know what speedrunning was. I didn't really associate myself with it or know much about it. And eventually what just ends up happening is Kieran's like, you should learn a speed run. The Spyro games are cool speed runs, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, let me do that. And at that point it was around the time the Reignited trilogy, the remakes of the Spyro games came out, which of course released back as early as 1998 through the 2000s. um and I played these remakes and I'm like, oh wow, this is cool, okay, neat. And then I start learning the speed run for Spyro 2, any percent, what is known nowadays as Spyro 2 Reignited 14 Talisman. um and from there I kind of got a little bit hooked. It's funny because I always tell this story a couple different ways, but when I got into it, I start speedrunning, and I'm like, this is cool. I'm enjoying learning and whatever, but I kind of just do runs. So I just started doing runs earlier than I probably should have. And I do my first run without knowing how to do the last trick, which is this whole end game skip where you have to like orient a controller and you're supposed to slightly hold up on the analog and then hold down on the D-pad. And it's like it breaks the height cap.
Mm.
It's this weird trick. Um, and I hit this trick after sitting there for about an hour and 40 minutes of trying to hit it for the first time in my first run of it. And I say like then I don't ever want to do this again.
Ah,
I don't ever want to speed run again. I hate this. This is awful. This is horrific. And shortly thereafter, the next day even,
hmm.
I sit down, I figure out the trick, and we start grinding and we start doing things. And from that point onward, I got hooked on speedrunning, and it started with the reignited Spyro games completely. And I credit them a lot for giving me a reason and a way into the hobby, because simply put, if these remakes never came out, I wouldn't have touched any other games in speedrunning, I doubt, in all honesty, because there was nothing I wanted to do as much as just kind of keep playing Spyro when I was getting into it, especially.
Well, beautiful. I'm glad you got hooked instantly, as it always is. You're like, oh, that sucked, never again. But it's always once you start, there's no going
Yep.
back.
No, there really isn't. It's tough. It really was that feeling of like, kind of want to do one more though, and just like I know I can beat that, like
One more, one more, one more.
and yeah, it is the gambler's fallacy applied to speedrunning, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's more or less it. And it's funny because I had a bit of a full circle moment earlier today. Um, there was a documentary recently released about the history of CTR, and it's the first documentary I've ever watched in speedrunning where I was there for the history for a lot of it. Because like I said, I watched a lot of my friend HypnoShark doing his runs, and he is at the top of that game. So it's weird. I'm having a very reminiscent day, kind of by proxy of that, like just kind of like reliving the early days of like this is what I remember seeing this record live. I remember seeing this, and oh, I remember being like, dude, I want to do runs because of seeing this run. You know, weird little things like that.
Well, I guess I really chose a good day to do this then. It works out in
Kind of did.
so many ways. Yeah,
Yep.
that is interesting. That reminds me of because my introduction was through speedrunning documentaries. Summoning Salt specifically was
Mm-hmm.
the introduction, and this was 2017 for kind of a time capsule. But
2017. Couple.
yeah,
That was a little bit after, a little bit before mine, rather.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
been here about like 8, 9 years almost.
It's been a time, that's for sure. But I
Nope.
remember, obviously I got into Mario. That was like the second video he ever made, so I watched it like a year after it came out or something.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, fascinating. I want to watch more. And then, he's made a lot of Mario after that. So a
Yep.
little later, it's like, wow, I was here for this history. This is cool.
Yeah.
And then a little later, wow, I'm in this video.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
it's
that's how it
fun how
happens too,
things work
man.
out.
Yep.
But yeah,
I,
I will
I
always have a huge respect for content creators for giving us the beautiful, easy access to speedrunning content in a nice, digestible manner that many can understand.
yeah.
So,
That's a lot of that's an art form in itself, is just making it digestible, because like as a newcomer to like games, like I don't watch a lot of speedrun content. I'll be the first person to tell you. Um, but when I do, if they don't explain to me what's going on, I'm gonna click out. it's a
right.
it's an art form in itself. If I don't understand what you're saying, we're
Mm-hmm.
clicking out. We're going to watch TikTok for an hour instead. Sorry, buddy. I'll still click like to support you in speedrunning, but that's all you're getting out of me. You're not getting the AVD out of this guy. But no, it's an art form. Seriously, is like explaining it to a newcomer, and like you said, it's a journey, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because like you see like the first video I saw by this content. Do you mind if I say the content
Oh,
creator?
yeah.
Absolutely. It's my friend Ricky, the Rixer. If
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
don't
of
know
course.
him, he's massive in the PlayStation scene. Good friend of mine. I've known him for years now. But the first video I saw by him was well after I had already known him. It was the man who broke Spyro in half.
Mm.
Which, funnily enough, I feel like there was a timeline where Dylan saw that earlier, maybe got a speedrunning at a different time or something like that.
Ah,
But it's weird, like the because you that's a game and a history, right? that I now know by
Mhm.
being in the community, but I also learned part of it through the video. But I was never there for either. So CTR and that video by Ricky, um, about Hypno Shark was very much a situation of, I'm not really into CTR. I care about it because he cares about it. He's my friend. Um, but I don't look at it from the lens of like, this is my game. I'm kind of like waiting to see a Spyro video low key now in my head, where it is like something I'm like, I was here for this. I saw all of this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And eventually, I'm sure it'll happen. Hopefully, like SRT gets something like that one day. I honestly hope we see something like that for that game, or like Spyro 2 or something like that.
Yeah. There's a lot more content nowadays, so it's
Oh
entirely
yeah.
possible. More and more
Hmm.
likely, in fact.
A lot of talented people in this space, man. A lot of them. A lot of
Oh
great
yeah.
content creators.
What you were saying were, if they don't explain it, you'll click off. Sometimes, if you're entertaining enough, which most people are, even if I have no idea
Mhm.
what's going on, I'm still watching just because.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like maybe the delivery or the visuals or the editing or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that's fascinating about it that actually. But I am a sucker for speedrun content, so I mean,
Yeah. Hmm.
maybe it's easier to hook me than the common man, but
Yeah.
they get a lot of views for a
I don't know.
reason, so I'm not alone.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's subject matter too, right? Like,
Mhm.
if it's about a game I don't care about, I'm not going to click on the video, right? But if it's, if I see a video about Pokemon Ruby, I'll click on it. If I see something about Pyro, if I see something about something PlayStation focused or a Mario game I have care for, like Sunshine, I'll click on that. Shouts to Inkstar, headlining, opening the event for GDQ, as we mentioned
We keep
earlier.
bringing it back. This is good.
Yep. Yep.
The timing.
I I gotta tell you, I wanted to be the opener, the closer in my heart, but honestly, I'll take being third and having Sunshine open up the show,
It's close
because
enough.
Sunshine is just a sick game,
Yeah.
dude. It's a sick game.
It's funny
I
because that was one of the few Mario games I hadn't played until like more recently, like a few years ago when
Yep.
the 3D All Stars came out. I do not like it at all. But the speed run,
You like Sunshine? Yeah,
no.
that's fair. Casually, it's kind of like, I get it.
Yeah,
It's not for everybody.
but
I wouldn't say like I love it as a casual game, but as a speedrun, it's so
no,
cool.
yeah, of course. I mean,
It's also linked to Spyro weirdly, like in
okay.
a strange way. Like
I'll have to
Gelato
ask
Beach
about
Skip was
that.
found by. Oops, sorry.
I have to ask about that. I don't see the connection.
I don't know if it's my internet or yours, but I'm getting a little bit of a hiccup here on my
Oh, am I?
end.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Discord's weird. And I've certainly had my fair share of audio issues, but I don't know. Can you hear
Okay, I
me
think we're
fine right
back
now?
now.
You good? Okay. Yeah. You were fine on my end, luckily, but yeah.
Okay, good.
Discord's weird. Discord's cringe. I was just asking when you said connection between Sunshine and Spyro. I don't see the connection,
Oh
so
yeah.
you'll have to explain it.
So Gelato Beach Skip, right? That's a big skip that was found in Sunshine a number of
Mm-hmm.
years ago nowadays. Um, that was found by a runner by the name of Tuval, who famously found Gulp Skip in Spyro 2. Really figured out the tech for helmet proxy and how to skip into Sorceress in Spyro 3, as well as the older endgame skip being used in Spyro 1, a trick called Coveless, which now is colloquially called Tuval Coveless, um, which are all like massive endgame skips in the Spyro series. Those were all found by the same runner that found Gelato Beach Skip. So that's why like I kind of have like a little bit of like a link in my mind between those games,
I see.
or between the series is.
Well, obviously Mario 1 has had some sock folder show up and help out, and we still use some of
Mhm.
his setups, and he's done something for every game ever. So
Yeah,
I could connect every game ever with him, but
it's crazy, dude. Like, some people are just whizzes with finding tricks. I found like a few things in like Reignited, but
mhm.
like nothing to like the scale of what some people have.
Yeah.
It's
Speaking
crazy.
about unique art forms, I mean,
Yeah,
something for everyone.
yeah, dude. I like that's I one of the sayings that I said all the time this time and last year was, speedrunning's for everybody, dude. It
Oh
really
yeah.
is. Like, you don't have to be a top level runner. Like, you don't have to be a you have to be a glitch hunter. You don't have to be a showcase person. You can be whatever you want to be, whatever mixture of those things. Like, I very much am, I would say, a bit more of a showcase person, more of a streamer, more of a personality than I
Mhm.
am a speedrunner. I do enjoy speedrunning. I do have a set of great times, plenty of world records in different games, but I don't really consider myself a speedrunner as much as I consider myself a streamer, in all
Mhm.
honesty. Like it's weird when you break it down and you think about it like that, because I get kind of like in my head about like, am I a speedrunner if I'm doing this? Am I acting like it's, it don't really matter. It's
Yeah.
speedrunning's for everybody, and however you approach it, whatever you do to approach it, it's like unique to you. You don't gotta grind out the hardest skips. You don't have to get the best times. You don't have to do a GDQ run. You don't have to do an ESA run. You don't have to go out and do X, Y, and Z. You can do it how you want to, by your own pace, how you want to, by your own accord. And
Mhm.
that's a beautiful thing about this hobby, is like there's a part of it for everybody.
Yep. And you can be just a glitch hunter or just a casual runner or just a content focused or
Yep,
whatever.
exactly.
Just a tasser. They're important too.
Yeah.
Even just watching.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
dude.
sick too.
hmm Speedrunning does not exist without like a viewership behind it. Like,
Mhm.
people will still find reasons to do it, but a lot of the reason, and I like, this is a double-edged sword, if you will.
Mhm.
Um, Part of the reason people do it is just because people care, right? If
Yeah.
nobody cares, you're not going to keep pushing the record. For example, I mentioned HypnoShark before. I'll reference him again here. When I first met him, we first started talking. It was before he had partner. It was before he was a partner Twitch streamer. You know, he was getting decent views on streaming Nitro Fueled and stuff like that. And slowly over time, he has become a massive streamer in the space. He's, averaging like 400 or 500 viewers on his Switch streams whenever he's running CTR, and like, he's been able to take what has been given to him, run with it, and because of that, the CTR world record, the optimizations presented in that world record, are now completely part of the speed run.
Mhm.
The run went from a mid 50 to now it's a low 48 through
Jesus
so many
Christ.
different implementations over the last like 6 years. And that happens because people watch and people care, and he was able to make it into a career. Now, obviously, that is your one in a million scenario.
Sure.
That is your, your golden goose situation. But it's not a thing that like would happen if people didn't care. And like,
Mhm.
you know, you talk about impact from content creators like Summoning Salt, Ricky.
Mhm.
Um, Without videos about the games, and without content being made around the games, or showcases from GDQ or ESA or ASM or USC or wherever else, there is no such thing as like care for this hobby. It's tree falls in the woods.
Mhm.
If nobody's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. One would argue it does. I'd argue it doesn't. And the reason I'd say it doesn't is because the reason that these things matter is because people care. It can be one person, it can be two, it can be three, it can be four. Or in a lot of these cases, when it comes to like Mario, Spyro, whatever else, it's hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions
Mhm.
of people. And all it does ultimately is draw more attention to the hobby, gives people more avenues to make this into potentially a career for themselves, make that into a big part of their life. Um, or even in some select cases, it's just a way to afford people the opportunity to push a game further and further. Which, like I said with Sam, exactly what's done for him. He
Mhm.
has been able to take CTR to places that never would have been otherwise.
Oh yeah. It really what it reminded me of, I wasn't around for this, but like Twitch and speedrunning grew together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because yeah, you people realized like, having the community watching live really like mattered for the scene. And
Yeah.
now look at it. So it worked out
hmm
pretty well. I mean, again, I wasn't around for it, but I know speedrunning was like one of the kind of foundations of Twitch.
hmm
A lot of the first partnered streamers were speedrunners, and yep, the community is the reason for it. So
Yeah, it comes, like I said, off the back of care, be it from the streamers or from the speedrunners and stuff like that. And you have so many names from history that you can point back to, like a name in Mario that I knew before I really knew what speedrunning was Clint Stevens.
Mm.
Um like he was huge for a number of years, and like he was, if I'm feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. He was very integral and pretty important to the Mario scene, SM64 scene early on. Um
I
and
wouldn't
just
know, but
Yeah, no, you're good.
maybe.
Um, but like that whole like Twitch growing with speedrunning, I've been told that because again, I'm my friend Ricky, he is such a historian for these things. So he's educated me so much on how speedrunning went from this niche underground thing to almost being a piece of mainstream. It's like touching the mainstream. It's not quite mainstream, but it really helped establish Twitch and push it into it.
Hmm.
Especially way back in the day, back when SRL was the main thing.
Oh yeah,
Before we had SRCom,
yeah. SRL
and
was huge for it.
yeah, it's crazy. Like
Hmm.
it almost makes you think, and I don't know how you feel about this whole thing. Almost makes me wonder, oh, God, what if I got in earlier?
I
What
have
if
always thought that. Yes,
yeah,
because
like
I
in
was
my
never
brain,
around for like the racing days of SRL, or I was like at the tail end of it, I guess.
hmm
And it was usually more for like tournaments and not just for fun.
hmm
But that was all people did in like the
yeah,
early to mid 2010s. Like it's ridiculous how popular it was, and you just don't see that anymore. But that sounded like just such a fun era that I never got to experience. And most people didn't
exactly
nowadays,
that.
but I mean it was big for its time.
Yep. I feel like you hear so many stories like from people who were around then,
Hmm.
and it just it feeds that envy that you kind of have for like, oh,
Yeah.
the good old days. Like I to talk about a little bit of my own history of speedrunning now, just to touch on it a little bit. I'm a big Sparrow 2 runner, right? And that's my main game. I run a lot of Spyro 2 Ripper's Raid Original, and I hear so many stories constantly about the golden days,
Hmm.
about how there was this great era of people coming in, records being pushed, boom, Saboom, Drash, Shaw, everybody, just a mad grab for everything. And I come in when I first come in, it's like, oh my god, the game is just not dead, but not exciting.
Mm.
It's exciting for me to play, um, but it's one of those things where I look at it from this lens of what if I got in 4 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, and I get envious. But by the same token, I wouldn't be the same person I am now if I did.
Mm.
So take what we get. And also, like, with that in mind, it's given me something to strive for, right? If that was the golden age, right? Because I very firmly believe this. A golden age can only ever be a golden age for so long, right?
Hmm.
Until the next golden age shows up. And I actually really think that right now Spyro 2 has entered that. We've
Mm.
been seeing a renaissance with runners, with strats, with records and different things being pushed. For the first time in years, we had four different people holding records um, in Spyro 2 for a short period, just about a month ago. And it's crazy that finally happened. And then we had a couple more being pushed, and one person now holds three records again because he's just cracked. His name is Drashed. Um, and we have people just constantly pushing the game in every single category now, which is just wild. Because like there was just such a lull period where, not to be like, oh, I was a hipster beforehand, but it was just a period where nobody else was bothering with the game, you know. And I was lowering my times and having fun, but it was just me, like for a little while. And there were people like dabbling in, but there were very few runners who were actively like really on the grind. Whereas once this year, earlier this year, kind of kicked off, everybody feels like they're pushing it. It's really exciting because I think we are on the precipice of a second golden age in the Spyro 2 scene.
Mm. So was this first one before your time then?
Absolutely.
Okay,
It was like 5 years before I knew what speedrun was.
I see. Okay,
Um, yeah,
so
and
takes 10 years for a golden age, I guess, but
apparently something like that, man.
at least it's consistent. Um,
Yeah, right.
but yeah, I personally am not familiar with Spyro games too much.
Mhm.
I've talked to some Spyro 1 runners. That is a hard sentence. Spyro 1 runners. Good God.
Yeah,
But um yeah, just it's not I've never really grown up with PlayStation. I've been changing that a little bit, but
yeah, getcha.
I'll have
Everyone's their different
eventually
consoles, man.
yeah, I'll eventually casually play the games once I have
Hmm.
everything set up. But as of right now, I've never played them, and especially like the second game, I know nothing.
Yep,
So
it's fair.
I'm excited to learn more. So you could kind of
It's really cool.
yeah, you can kind of go over your history with that. Although you said you started
Yeah,
with the remakes, right?
yeah. So my initial if you go on my SRC or whatever, the when I joined was June 6th, 2020. So I started then technically by getting my SRC set up or whatever. I had been like practicing a little bit before then, so I really started around the beginning of June, if we want to say that. And I started off with speedrunning the Reignited games for Spyro 2, 14 Talisman, because it was a short category. And in my head, and I know this might sound stupid, um, I think speedrun, and I think, well, why would you look to complete it if you're trying to get through it as fast as
Mm,
possible? What's the
yeah.
point in the speedrun? That was genuinely my thought process. Was like, I don't care about any of these other things, and so I get into this category, and I got to tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, I love the Reignite trilogy. I think it was an awesome thing. I'm glad I experienced it. I picked the worst category in that game to start speedrunning on, and it
Mm.
is a miracle I didn't stop speedrunning immediately after it.
Well, it sounded like you
Um,
almost took that route, but
yeah, yeah. It's it's a very volatile category. Notably, it just has so many stupid reset points that are just, I don't want to say needless, because obviously they are needed in some way or another.
mm,
Um, but they are just infuriating. Like,
yeah.
um, as all speed games do, you have your reset points. But, um, I started back. I submitted what is obsoleted on my SRC profile, my first run on the 13th of June. Um, is what I'm checking. But I know I had done runs before then. This was before I actually submitted all of my runs, which
Mm.
if you're a speedrunner of any kind, I genuinely recommend. If you get into a game, always submit all of your runs,
Yes.
even if it's a second improvement. Have the history. It's worth looking back on. You will want to do it someday.
Yeah. I started doing that, and
Um,
I even like made spreadsheets documenting everything ever.
mhm. I
I
started
I,
doing
I
that
might have
now.
got yeah, I might have gotten a little crazy with it, but I do like the documentation. But there are a
Yeah,
few runs I've lost that it's kind of sad now. Although one of them was my fault. Twitch corrupted the highlight.
that sucks.
But
That's
luckily that
unfortunate.
run was not very good, so it's fine. But
Hey,
yes.
I hear you, dude. Like I said, it's I'm a big history guy when it comes to
Mhm.
it now for myself, because it's just like, why wouldn't I want to look back on that? And yeah, no, so I started with Reignited,
Mhm.
and for the better part of the first year I speedrun, I just ran Reignited. I didn't just run Reignited Spyro 2. I ran a variety of categories. I started off with the second game, but because it's part of a trilogy of
Mhm.
games in under the same purchase, if you will, all the engines are the same, so the games transfer really well. If you get good at one, you're gonna be good at two and three. If you get good at three, you're probably gonna be decent at one and two. Um, as far as it goes to like the movement. So, ooh, did my webcam freeze? There we go. I'm trying to keep an eye on it because I know it's been having some
Yeah,
issues lately.
it's been
Um,
decent so far, but
yeah,
it can't be a podcast episode without some tech issues. So
how it
we're
goes.
we're hitting our mark. It's good.
Um, So I pretty much just speed run around that game. I meet some people in the community, form some connections and stuff like that, and begin to know people. But eventually I start watching some original. runs. And you mentioned Spiral 1 in particular.
Mhm.
There were some runners I was introduced very early on to. One of them being Dale Man, who,
Of
if you
course,
know
yeah.
Spiral 1 at all, he is probably the guy in Spiral 1, as far as it goes for who you would know if you're an outside observer. Um, I started watching him bit before he had record. It was about like maybe 2 months or so before he had gotten his first record in Spiral 1 120. And then from there, he of course blew up and everything. But I see him doing runs and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, this game looks kind of cool. Okay, whatever. And then I'm watching a reignited runner another day, and this is a runner by the name of Nos TW, I believe is his current Twitch channel. Or NosVox, it might be. I can't remember. It doesn't matter particularly either. Their name is Nos. That's how I know them. That was their name back then. They changed it since. It's tough. Um, and they're running a category called any percent MBS, which is a Spiral 1 category in Reignited. Standing for no balloon skip. It's this whole skip where you can basically finish the game in like 6 minutes. Um, and he's like, all right, runs are done for the day. We're raiding out. And he raids into a runner named Novaspell. Novaspell would later become a multi-time record holder for a category called Vortex, which she was running at the time. And I caught her very early on in her career with the game and her time with that. And that was my first time really experiencing like a category that looked like something I wanted to run in an original Spyro. Um, because it was just nothing but like high octane movement and tricks. If you're a Mario runner, it's kind of like 16 star.
Mm.
Um, just nothing but like action, just going the whole way through. Um, and I see that and I'm like, oh, dude, this looks really cool. I want to try this. So I boot up an emulator. It's EPSXE, and it is so broken and it doesn't work. And it has about a century of input delay. And whenever I would get on a balloon, which are like the way that you traverse the different homeworlds in Spyro 1, the balloon and Spyro would very often deload to where the textures would be not there, because something about the emulator was so bad. Um,
Hmm.
but we tried a couple of Vortex runs because of Nova. And I got really into it. I got to like I think it was like a 24 something before I had stopped the first time. I think it was a 24-27 on that emulator, which at the time was about 3 minutes slower than record or something. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool, but I kind of want to like try the other games. Like I like Spyro 3 so much; it's my favorite from my childhood. Why don't I play that one a little bit more? Why don't I try that one out? And I go to try it out, and I very quickly learn, wow, this is nowhere near as beginner friendly as Vortex. Because in Vortex, all you need to do is get to the end of the levels. You have an all levels code that you put in. It's square, square, circle, square, left, right, circle, up, right, down, I think. Um, and you put that in, you get all the levels unlocked, you have everything you need to do. You just need to run to the end of levels, get vortexes. You can do these tricks if you want to. You don't have to do everything. There's no requirement. In Spyro 3, you are required to do so much to beat that game for any percent. Like, there's so much to learn. And eventually I did learn it, but I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. And one day I was just perusing Twitch, and I see a Spyro 2 runner by the name of 2% Milk, spelled TOOPER, spelled out percent milk. Um, I see him running Spyro 2. It's a category called 14 Talisman, and I immediately just like fall in love because it looks like Vortex, but Spyro can jump higher, and the way the engine looks, it looks more fun to me because I don't like the way that Spyro handles in Spyro 1 at this point. And I see him doing it. I'm like, dude, I need to try this. Is there like any resources, anyone that you would recommend me to like try to like learn off of as a beginner? It's like, well, there's a couple things you need to be able to do. You need to be able to do the swim in air, get over the Dragon Shore's wall, and do climbless ideally. Fun fact, you don't have to do climbless. I found that you can buy climb and be very slow and do your first runs that way. Um, and to make a long story of it short, I found this runner named Tyzera. I watched his route and very poorly tried to imitate it for a long time. He did what was called swimless, swim route. Um, the main route that people running being swimless, where you have to do like a bunch of proxies that were very hard for me at the time. And it gave me an avenue in, and I started running the category 14 Talisman shortly thereafter because of this run of 2% milk. And it became very quickly the main category that I've ever loved. It's what I'm going to be running at GDQ on the 4th. Um, and it's a category that I have run. I've done probably close to 7,000 attempts. I've completed probably, if I were to add my old splits with it, I'm probably looking at the range of about like 700 runs of it finished. And it has very quickly just become a massive, massive motivator for me just to keep speedrunning. Honestly, I credit a lot of the success I've gotten on Twitch to the fact that I've just been persistent with 14 Talisman. I haven't, like, there have been periods where I've stopped running the category and stopped doing anything with it, but I keep at it and I keep going because I love it and because I want to see myself improve at it until eventually maybe I get the perfect run. And that's the, if you'll excuse the pun here as I'm talking about Spyro, that's what we do as speedrunners. We chase the dragon.
Mm.
We and that's the dragon that I'm persistent on chasing until I get what I want, if I'm being honest.
Okay, so if that's your bread and butter, I guess I want to learn more about like what the category means and like what the run has to offer.
Yeah. So 14 Talisman, just to explain it very simply, is it says it on the tin, but you collect 14 talismans. Talismans are this item in the game that are exclusive to the first 2 homeworlds and each of the individual levels within those homeworlds. The first homeworld has 6, the second has 8. And your goal is to basically complete the main task of the level. So, for example, in Glimmer, it's literally get to the end of level, basically. Cool, you do that. In Magma Cone, you're supposed to climb up the Magma Cone, land on top of it, and have the top of it close. Okay, cool, you get a talisman for that. In Hurricos, you're supposed to open up these electric grids and then talk to the NPC at the end. He gives you the talisman. Cool, you do that. 14 Talisman takes these tasks and gives you a series of tricks and challenges that you have to employ in order to get through to talk to these NPCs as fast as possible while meeting their conditions. There are certain NPCs that have hard stuck conditions. So, for example, in Aquaria Towers, there's an NPC at the very end where when you talk to him, if you have not activated a button that allows that basically makes the whole level into water, it makes it an underwater level. If you haven't hit that button, the end of level NPC will not give you the talisman. No matter what you do, he will never give you the talisman. So, if you go through and hit that button, then you can get the talisman. But if you talk to him beforehand, he will never give you it. It's a whole weird sequence of things. And basically, if I can put it very simply, it's similar, like I said, to 16 Star. When I was talking about Vortex, it's similar in that nature to where you're just doing a number of skips and backups and things like that in levels in order to make it through, complete that task, and get your talisman, get out. A lot of the reason it's not a category I've taken to true optimization or like perfected quite yet is because there is RNG elements.
Mm, my
There's a
favorite.
big green boss in it named Gulp, and she is rather unruly. I refer to her a lot as my wife, because some days she loves me, some days she hates me,
Okay.
and I get to her and I try to give her my best, but sometimes either you save a minute or you lose 2. It's tough. Basically, that's the gist of 14 Talisman, though. And also, I had mentioned it before. Tuval discovered a trick called Gulp Skip. This is why it's called 14 Talisman, because arguably it was called any percent. This
Mm-hmm.
was the any percent category for a number of years. People loved it so much that it remained as a category and as a main category
It
on
really
the
is
SRC
16
boards.
star. How
Yeah,
about that?
it's Yep. It it's crazy to me how if they changed it, because I often cite this as like an important thing. I don't know how you feel about it. I think a main category, as in like what's listed on the main board, not in like the drop down arrow or on the
Mhm.
miscellaneous board, is so important for a category's health. Because if 14 Talisman was never on that main board, there's a good chance I just didn't run it.
Mm.
Like, and that's been a whole series of debates in the Spyro community in the last several years of what is a main category, and then there's a category called Vortex. I mentioned before in Spyro 1 that is now a main category due to the actions of one rogue mod changing it and nobody ever choosing to change it back. Um,
All right.
I won't tell you who that rogue mod is, but his name might rhyme with mine and or
Mhm.
be mine.
I see.
And just in general, it's helped for the health of the category. People care about it more, and people are able to see it and interact with it more. Um, but if 14 Tally was never a main category, there's a good chance it doesn't get as optimized as it does. There's a good chance I don't play it myself. There's a good chance I don't get Twitch partner, any, or any of the
Mhm.
opportunities I've been afforded, such as GDQ here. Um, Shortly after this is aired, I guess would be
Yeah.
the right framing for it. Um, it's crazy those little butterfly effects, but um, yeah, that's the whole reason 14 Tally even still exists.
Mm. Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of legacy any percents. Is usually what I call them. Your
Yeah.
16 stars, your
Hmm.
Rico route or whatever, however you say that. I'm not a Zelda person either, but you
Yeah.
know the things that used to be any percent that are no longer because there's some bullshit that happened, but
Yeah.
your
And
80%
there's
no
an
wrong
8% to an
works.
8%.
Yeah. Um, but I do see usually if a category's on the main board, it's because it was already like popular enough for it to exist.
Hmm.
Um, I luckily from what I've seen, that's usually the main decider of what qualifies as a main board or not. Like
Right.
if it's like obvious, it's obvious. But usually people put what has the most runners on stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I would say even if it's not, or if they have a reason for it, usually like the popularity of the run determines its location on the site, which
Hmm.
as it should be. So
Right.
I'm glad
People care
people
about it.
people do that.
People should
Yes,
see it.
yes, I'm glad
Like
people do
Ratchet and
that.
Clank does a great job with that. I don't know if you're familiar with that series, but their most popular categories are not any percent or 100%. They are
Hmm.
the new game plus categories.
Yes, that's
And
right.
they are front and center. They are the first thing you see because, but very simply, that is the bread and butter for the Crash. Sorry, excuse me, for
Yep,
the Ratchet and Clank community. That is what people go there for. That is what people care about for the most part.
that's the
And don't get me
popular
wrong,
stuff. Yep.
I think there are certain like little things about an SRC board that should always remain a constant. I think
Hmm.
you should always have your any percent and your 100% in your main. I think
Sure.
that is an ever constant in my opinion. But if something like New Game Plus is popular, put it there. If
Yeah.
something like Vortex is as popular as it is, put it there.
Hmm.
And I've always stood by that as my general feeling about it. Like keep it in a place where people can see, and then people who care about it get recognized for their care.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember at least for like Mario 1, upgrading some category extensions to the main board, or one at least. But yeah, I mean, it's because it was popular. So, and not like stupid. Like sometimes there are category extensions that are popular, but it's purely like joke, stupid, fun, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
There I
There's one in
understand.
Ratchet and
That's
Clank I
different.
could mention.
Yeah, that's a little different. People can understand that. But yeah, if it's just like
Yeah.
a run that doesn't fall under any percent hundo, whatever, or was like a
Hmm.
legacy any percent, but the popularity is still there. Yeah, I'm glad most leaderboards tend to keep it somewhere in the main section.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to dig through
I
a
think
little
it's
bit
just
of stuff,
important.
but it's there.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think for me at least, I look at things from this perspective. What do people care about?
Hmm.
And why do they care about it? You know? I try to see things from all sides and be a little bit of a, play every devil's advocate I can. But my main core value is always just, if people care about it, let's showcase it. Let's put it on as front center stage as we can and give it the best chance to succeed. Because again, I think if you bury it in a category extensions board and it's, on a drop down menu, there's a good chance nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to run it. You have 3 runners and somebody's going to get record, and it's just going to be a record that's just standing for 9 years and nobody's going to care about it. It's like, there will be things like that, but I want to minimize the potential for that as much as I can. Because ultimately, speedrunning is a thing that I care about, and I hope that other people do as well. And I want the things that people care about to be showcased. I mentioned it before, but tree falls in the wood, nobody's around to see it. Does it make a sound? If a category is on the category extensions board and it's a really optimized, sick, awesome speedrun, and it has 1 runner with a YouTube upload with 6 views, it doesn't matter how cool it is. Like, it does, but we can do things to and make it. We can do things to improve it and make it more viewed and seen by people. Is my point.
Yeah. Well, because we've talked about, like, your main thing was original Spyro 2. Like a legacy 80%. But you started with the remakes. So how do those differ?
It's weird because they have a lot in common. So the ways of which you skip levels are weirdly similar. So, for example, in Hurricos, which is a level in the second homeworld, you utilize this platform which moves in and out, and you clip into it underneath in original Spyro 2. It's just called Hurricos Clip, nothing crazy. And then you clip into that, you jump around, do a couple out of bounds things, you talk to the end level NPC, he gives you the talisman. Cool, fine, whatever. In Reignited, you do a couple of creative glides and hovers, you land on a windmill, you land on top of that same platform bit, you glitch in through the top of it, and then you glide to that same end of level NPC, get the talisman that way. In Sunny Beach, the next level, you utilize a turtle to proxy off of its hitbox. A proxy displaces Spyro based off perspective to the spherical object that he's connected into. And it happens whenever he is inside of that sphere and he's not supposed to be, aka outside of a charging animation. So you'll press X while you're charging into the head of the turtle. It propels you up ideally, and you make it out of this hole there, and you get to go to the end of the level. In Reignited, you use a slightly different turtle. It's to the right of the first turtle that you would use. You flame it into a corner, and you have that turtle push you with its head out of bounds and into a water plane just outside of the area of play to get into the end of level. There's a lot of weird little similarities, and even routing decisions that come from that game that are still present in Spyro 2 original for me. Because like I said, I started with Reignited. So like those mannerisms, that little bit of muscle memory has carried over by hook or by crook. It's a very weird thing. Like there's a couple of gems which are collectible in the game that I get. You need 800 of them in the OG route. You need 1300 in the Reignited route. I get the an extra 10 gems by a button that nobody else gets because I'm from Reignited, and it's like a built muscle memory that I kind of like keeping there because it reminds me of like this is where I came from, you know. And then there's other little things throughout. I can go on for days, but they compare in a very unique set of ways in their differences though, because for example, the main trick in Spyro Reignited 2 or 14 Talisman, as it's now called as well, because they found a gulp skip too, which is a lot weirder, and I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know how to do it honestly. But the way that you would do gulp in that game is you would jump in the portal, you would have to hit a frame perfect pause, exit the level as you enter it. Sorry, quit out of the game as you enter it, at the bottom, the text should read Gulp's Overlook, which is the boss arena's fight name. You exit, you continue the game, it puts you back in the arena, and then what you're then supposed to do is you're supposed to do some frame perfect inputs. Not frame perfect, sorry. Some blind, fairly precise inputs.
Okay.
Um, in order to walk into a portal that you know is there. And then you have to do some other inputs to pause and then mash X and then skip the cutscene after you see a little sign at the bottom right. And then you skip that and then you get what's called level storage, which stores a state where Spyro has like all these extra powers to like kill Gulp. And it's a lot easier to kill Gulp that way. But it's a whole thing to
Sounds like a
hit it.
mess.
It is a mess. It is modern day game glitches with an extra side of zestiness, and in my opinion, it's so weird. Whereas like the end game of OG Spyro 2 is you fight Gulp. You do that. Then you do a glitch to get underneath the bonus level portal, Dragon Shores, and then you get over a wall, and then you get a power up early called Fireball, which you normally don't get until you achieve 100%, and then you use that to fight Ripto. And then to get into Ripto, you do this a couple of different tricks you can do. There's Waterfall Proxy, there's Penguin Proxy. The most common is a swim in air that you can do, where Spyro, by using the swim state, can swim in the air. Excuse me. And then you can swim into the Ripto fight. You can swim to the trigger for it. Or what I do personally is the hardest trick in Spyro speedrunning. It's called Spurted Ripto. So the end games are very, I don't want to say different. Like they are objectively different, but they're just like so weird because you don't have the super flame for reignited. You don't have level storage for OG, and it kind of trades around what parts of it are difficult because the Ripto fight is significantly harder in reignited. The Gold fight is significantly harder in OG for the category. So it makes this whole unique situation where it's like comparing the two. It's like I've thought about before, like putting a side by side comparison, split to split, level to level for the two of them, and kind of showing people like this is what this level looks like. This is how long it takes. This is how long this level takes. But it's like they're so different, but at the same time, like they both fulfill like that speedrunner itch that I have, because I'm much more of like an any percent runner or like a hit the trick runner than I am a completionist runner. I always have been. So they both have an appeal to me. I will say very much nowadays it leans heavily towards the original because I enjoy a lot of the tricks there more. But the reignited games, especially reignited Spyro 2, 14 Talisman, it's a pleasure. It's awesome, and it's really weird and unique.
Yeah, usually when I hear about like a remake or something, and you compare the runs, like they're fairly different despite it obviously being technically the same game somewhere there at the core. But it's interesting because we usually with that comes with a lot of patches and stuff. A lot of things only work on the original, but it sounds like you found ways to turn it into the original, just not exactly the same way. But
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting because I'm sure they don't work the same way for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
they tried, but
Unreal
speedrunners
4
will never
know?
fail to find something.
It's funny because like Toys for Bob, the developers behind the reignited games, they very much were aware of speedrunning. Like they care about speedrunning. So much so they almost like made nods to it in the game.
Oh, really?
Like for example, the one of the tricks that the runner I mentioned earlier, Two Ball, found, it's a trick called Helmet Proxy. Basically, you get underneath this like gladiator helmet that's like positioned, angled in a way towards like the ground, so you can kind of like get Spyro underneath it. And then by doing that and charging in, it actually launches Spyro back out. And you're supposed to use that momentum to have him basically fly up a mountain. In the reignited game, they have that surrounded by rocks. Like it's completely surrounded all the way around by rocks. Like, sorry, you're not doing helmet proxy here. No shot. It's almost like a nod to it, and like they even made like a nod to this island off in the distance, which people often fantasize about getting to in Spyro 3, where it has like 3 extra lives. It literally is like a nothing island. There's nothing else there, but it's like way off in the distance, and you can't reach it by normal gameplay. But you can with helmet proxy if you do it the right way. It's actually used in the all life bottles category in the original game. Um, it's and reignited they make a whirlwind that way you can go all the way up and then fly over there essentially.
Mm.
It's kind of cool. I really appreciate the nods from Toys for Bob, but then they also patched out a number of cool glitches from the game, which was not cool. I
Of
think
course.
I think why would you do that? They were like a lot of the things they patched out were things that you would only find as a speedrunner too,
Mm.
which is really annoying because it's like
Yeah.
you just didn't need to. You just didn't. There was no reason for it. There was no purpose. You're only making speedrunning worse. You're not improving the
Yeah.
game.
I've heard a lot of
Um,
those kinds of stories though, especially with
yeah,
modern games. But
yeah. They did with
oh,
Crash 4 too. They were also the developers behind the fourth Crash game. Like
mm.
they patched in like invisible walls in some stupid areas to prevent certain glitches, but then people found other tricks that were faster, so it all ended up being a wash. So it's yeah, it's definitely unique speedrunning modern games. Having done a lot of classic, I've done recent games. I actually recently got and then recently got beaten in my new prestigious white whale of a speed game called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer 2025. Uh,
Okay.
truly prestigious game, a game that laced with iconicism, incredible characters throughout its history. No, but for real, I'm expecting that game to receive some patches and stuff like that to change it and edit it around. But it's like weird to try to like get into like a new game because you're kind of expecting that where it's like,
Mm.
oh well, if I find this cool skip, are they gonna patch it out? Like
Yeah.
at least for the old ones, they never will. You know.
Yeah. You see, this is why I only play retro games. No other reason.
Yep.
But yeah, that's definitely a common problem I've heard with modern gaming. So
Hmm.
now there are some usually more indie teams seem to be a little nicer about it. Like
Oh yeah,
maybe
hundred
there'll be a
percent.
speedrun patch or
Mm-hmm.
something, but and that's cool. But yeah,
Yep.
not
Yeah, like Pseudo
everyone thinks
Regalia is
that
really great with
way.
that.
Hmm?
Yeah. Have you heard of Pseudo Regalia? That game's
Oh
really
yes,
great with
yes,
it.
yeah, yeah.
That game loves speedrunning. It encourages it so
Oh yeah. I
much.
mean, it's got like, isn't that the game with like this crazy 3D platforming movement
Hmm.
system that everyone just gushes over?
Yep. All abilities in that game. At some point, I want to give it a try because it just looks super fun. Like all of the things that you can do with it.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of stuff come out of that just because of its movement system, and
Hmm.
people just again just talk so highly about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that is definitely built for speedrunning. That's
Hmm.
for sure. A lot of platformers are.
Yeah, dude. I think for me at least, and I say this often, I want to like other speedruns, but like it's very rare I find a speedrun I fall in love with as much as like a platformer would.
Hmm.
Like I don't know. I wouldn't ever describe myself as like a specific platformer gamer in general. Like I enjoy, shooters and everything. I have a lot of fun with like Call of Duty, Portal, whatever else, like RPGs like Final Fantasy or like other stuff. But platformers just hit for me when it comes to speedrunning. It
Oh
just
yeah.
something about them. The only RPGs I've really run are like Pokemon, you know.
Mm.
I, I I've actually recently picked up Gold, and that's been a pretty good time. It's been pretty fun. I actually ran it for ESA's Jingle Jam event, which was in collaborations with Yogscast, if you're familiar with them. Um, that was a ton of fun. I literally learned that game, did a couple of runs. It was like, hey, I'll submit to this marathon. Why not? And they were like, yeah, we want you in. Come do Pokemon Gold. And I'm like, okay, all right,
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, why not? Um, but yeah, like in general, it's like platformers are just so good. Like even crappy platformers like Rudolph, and I mean it
Mm.
with nothing but sincerity. I have enjoyed my time with that game. Having been the Christmas season and everything. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer 2025 is objectively one of the worst games I've ever played. It is so bad. It feels horrible. It controls horribly. It has unskippable dialogue all the time. It's terrible, but even then I still find it fun. I don't know if that makes me the wrong person to the game wrong or whatever it is, but it's, it hits. And even games I never thought I'd play, like Crash Tag Team Racing. I didn't grow up speedrunning or enjoying Crash games, but I saw this game and I'm like, this looks fun, cool. And then one of my friends was like, here, I'll teach you these tricks. And I start messing with them. Like, this is just fun. This is just a really good time. So speedrunning like platformers is just something that like it's hard to not be into for me almost. Like it's so easy to like see movement and be like, it's really cool. Like Ape Escape, I watch and I'm like, that's sick. SM64, I watch, I'm like, that's sick. I watch Super Mario Sunshine, that's sick.
Yeah.
Like Odyssey, even Mario Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to look at things like that and be like, and that like I'm gonna be learning Jack and Daxter after GDQ. I'll be learning Jack and Daxter 90% of LTS, and I'll be doing a 12-hour live stream of just that game and my first runs of it.
12-hour challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
I'm glad
And I'll
people
be
still
doing
do
that.
that because I think like the
I
official
love
thing
it.
hasn't been around for a little while, but yeah, that
I
used to
didn't know it was
be.
an official thing.
Yeah.
I
Oh. Yeah, I think it was twice a year. Golden.
mhm.
I think he was the one to start doing it, but yeah, it would be a community thing, and then like twice a year, on one weekend, 12 hours to learn a new speed game. Usually, it'd be like a
Mhm.
theme or something. I did a
Oh,
couple
okay.
of them when they were around, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. But yeah, I haven't seen those around yet. But like people still do it. Like that's a good way to learn a new run. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, those would have like 60 people all learning new games and stuff on the same weekend. Like it
Mhm.
was crazy stuff. And
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, that's where you get
Was that like
famous
around like
things.
COVID times?
It no, it started, I want to say in like 2016, maybe even earlier. But it had quite a bit of I don't know if events the right word, but again, it would happen like again twice a year, I
Yeah.
think, and yeah, different theme every time, yada yada yada. But
Gotcha.
I
Yeah.
don't know exactly when it ended, but it's been a few years now. Um,
I actually the reason I started doing it is I saw a runner in Spyro do it with a category called 40 orb in Spyro 2. His name is Jeremy Thompson, very big for Spyro 3. He's the record holder for 100 egg and 3 any percent. Um it's he was just doing it one day where he was just doing 40 orb for 12 hours and I was like, "Oh, it's a really cool idea." So I
mhm,
started doing it with Spyro categories, and this is actually the first time I'm branching out and doing it with a another series cuz I'm usually a very slow learner. I'll admit that
mhm.
much. If a game is easy enough just to pick up and learn and do some runs of, yeah, okay, I can do that. But when there's like Jack and Daxter is a very intricate game.
I've
I
heard.
have to like sit down and really learn things. Like I have to get my feet wet,
Okay.
um, for it. So it's my first time doing it like that. But I actually didn't know that was like a common thing back in the day.
Oh yeah,
I learned about it exclusively from Jeremy doing it,
got it.
and just thought it was a cool idea just to take a speed run, do it for 12 hours, and see how far we can take it in that time. That's cool though. That sounds like an awesome thing for people to get into. I'd be, maybe one day that could be a cool thing to host for like the Spyro games. People
Hmm.
be like a coach, like a bunch of people wanting to learn 14 Talisman or Spyro 180% or whatever have you.
Yeah, I joined a few of like the official things back when they were around. That's how I learned like Mario 3, Warpless, and Odyssey, Sonic 2,
Hmm.
um, Mario World. So yeah, that was
That's
that
cool.
was yeah, just a really cool thing to exist to get me to try out some new things. I probably maybe would have gotten to eventually, but finally had a reason to
Yeah.
start because starting's the
Hmm.
hardest part, as I'm
Oh,
sure we're
dude,
all aware.
it is the worst because like I often cite like this. So I've been streaming for a long time, right? And the most important thing to do whenever you're like starting streaming or starting a speed run, anything, is once you're started, just keep going.
Yeah. Right.
Don't stop. Don't say, you should take a week off. Because then that week turns into 2 weeks, and then that 2
I'm
weeks turns
currently
into a
on like
month.
month 4
Yep.
of my like 2-day break or whatever, so I understand.
Yep.
Luckily, I can do this. So
Yeah. Dude, it's so volatile, but
it
like,
really is.
you got to be a grinder with it. Like, if you want something, you got to just keep going.
Mhm.
Like, for example, right? I mentioned before, 14 talismans my main category. I had grinded it for about 4 years on and off, and then just to quickly ask, are we okay with kind of heavyish topics on the podcast? I should have asked this beforehand.
I guess it depends. I've never been asked this
Uh,
question before.
I'll lead in with this. I'll say I had a traumatic event happen
Okay.
earlier this year while I was very much making headway on my stream, improving at 14 talisman, doing very good.
Okay.
I was actually queued up to do a hot fix the
Yeah.
week that this event happened. And essentially, what happened at that point was I had to take a multi-month break. I had to take a
Mhm.
while off. And it came at such an inopportune time because I had just started getting to the point where I could put partner push in my title really and like mean it
Mhm.
because my numbers were there. I was getting to the point where I could have applied.
Yeah.
And I was doing great with that. I was improving at my speed runs that I was enjoying as much as I was. Um, and then this hits.
Mhm.
And then the momentum from continuing and going at it as long as I was stopped.
Yeah.
So I hit the stall period. I am going through a lot for months. And then it hits a point where what happens is ESA rolls around, ESA summer. And I'm like, I don't want to bother. I really don't. All my friends are like, come on, man. We got you. We want you there. We want you to hang out. We want you to be there, participate. You have the energy still. You're still you. At this point, I'm very much not feeling like me. I'm not feeling like streamer Dylan, speedrunner Dylan, anything like that. And I sit and think to myself for a while, and I have a bit of a heart to heart with myself, if you will, like a little bit of reflection in the car. And I just sometimes I don't know how you are. Driving for me is like my space just to think. So I'll just get
Mhm.
behind the wheel and just drive. It doesn't matter where I'm going. Just drive somewhere. Just have something to occupy my hands and just go.
Hmm.
And I realize I should go to ESA. And I have an awesome time. I do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories run, which is famous for a
I've
few
heard.
things. Uh,
I've heard many a things about this.
it was one of my greatest mistakes, but also one of my greatest tricks I ever pulled out of my hat.
Mhm.
Um, and I do that, and I do a 100 egg speed run with my best friend Shemp Official, who I definitely put through a table after I won the race of 100 eggs in Spyro 3 100 egg. I promised that was him and not a stunt double, uh, who is significantly shorter and not Ginger. I promise, same person. Anyway, I go and I have this awesome event, and there's a conversation I have with a friend of mine, Hypno Shark specifically,
Mm.
and I tell him, dude, I, I, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can like. This week it feels awesome. It feels like everything is back. I don't know if I can keep this up. I don't know if when I get back, if things are gonna feel the same, if I'm still gonna be as anxious and have the anxieties and the struggles and the feelings that I have. And he pretty much just tells me, just do it. Like, to put it in layman's terms,
Mhm.
just simply do it. And I sit there for a while and we talk and we have this conversation. But by the end of it, I should do it. So I get back from Sweden, take a couple of days, get my bearings, start streaming. 20-ish people are in the first one, 30-ish people in the second. Next week, we're getting up to like 40. Okay, this is close to, we're doing okay. 50. Oh, wow, this is doing all right. This is close to where we were. A month later, partner pushing the title,
Hmm.
full steam ahead. 100 viewers watching me, trying my best as what I can describe to you as a pretty okay 14 talisman speedrunner.
Hmm.
I am not top level at the game. I am not the best at the game. I'm just a guy who tries his best every day and tries every day. I do that for months, and I do it for months. I applied a partner, denied. I applied a partner a second time, denied. I applied a partner a third time, accepted.
Hmm. Third try really
I
is
get
the
Twitch
charm.
partner. Yep. And the whole time, the lasting thing in my head was that conversation and some words from my father. And those words are from a song he really loves. He loved, rather. And that's decide what to be and go be it. And I, for a very long time in my life, didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know who I was. And I very quickly figured out in those moments when back's against the wall and I don't know if I can keep it up. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be a streamer. I want to be a speedrunner. I want to put my all into this thing. And I took what was a small chance and I've snowballed it into the echoes, the skeleton of a potential career in something that I love. And that happens because of not stopping. Because since I started, I haven't stopped.
Hmm.
That was back in June. It is now December 29th. And I have been on the horse consistently for 6 months and I'm not getting off the horse. And the best part about it is on January 4th, I go from being somebody who was utterly undesirable in the space, a loudmouth, brash, annoying, just spiral runner who didn't really fit in, to undeniable. I'm a GDQ runner. I am somebody who went from no viewership, no audience, no world records, to people watch me care, and now I get to show my favorite fucking thing
Hmm.
to so many people. And it's magical, man. And that happens again, and I have to say it again, because I just did it and I didn't stop. And that's the proof of anybody wanting to do anything, be it streaming, be it speedrunning, be it anything. You get there off the back of that. And the best part is that partner push and this GDQ run coincide together so well because I was doing 14 talisman the whole time. By the time GDQ submissions were set to close, the last day of submissions rolls around. And about a month before that, I say outright, if I do not get a 23 in this category by the time submissions roll around, 23 being about a minute off record, I will not submit GDQ.
Hmm.
I'm just not. That last day, I get the 23. And that was 2 days after I got Twitch partner.
Well,
It's and now I'm in GDQ and I have a prime slot. And
yeah.
again, it all happens because you don't stop until the job is done.
Hmm. Well, great motivational speech. 10 out of 10, really.
Thank you. Do it again.
um, I think I needed to hear it, in fact, because I keep stopping
Yeah.
all the time.
It's easier said than done. It
It
really
is.
is. But
Um,
once you start, dude, just keep going. I mean it.
mm,
That's all it takes.
yeah. You see, I don't have like a good excuse for it though. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna ask, but any traumatic event's gonna be hard to deal with in everyone for everyone. So,
Yeah.
I don't have an excuse like that. I'm just lazy. But
Dude, listen, and here's what I'll say. It don't matter if you don't have a good excuse or not.
Hmm.
We're all people. We're all
Yeah.
fallible, right?
Oh boy, yeah.
But the thing about fallibility and failure and how you what that means is how you embrace it, right? If you're failing to meet your expectations or your goals, look yourself in the mirror, ask those hard questions, embrace that.
Mm.
And then from there, just fucking do it. Just simply go and do it.
Hmm.
I promise. It's the best medicine. You have to hold yourself accountable. And then just do it. I mean it. You can, if you want to get to the top of Mario,
Hmm.
you can do it.
I was already at the
Like
top.
I
I fell
said,
off hard. We're good.
hey, get back though, right?
Right. Well, maybe not in the modern Mario scene. The top people now are like, I can't even describe how much better they are than everyone else. But, um, I would like to improve
Hey,
still.
exactly. And there's nothing wrong with however you want to scale it. If you want to get to, get to just high enough a level, as high as you can reach a certain time barrier, whatever.
Hmm.
Like for me right now, I have the 23, I have 23, 44, and 14 talisman. I did improve it once since getting into GDQ since. I want to get to 22.
Mm.
That's my goal, and then eventually I've been describing it as my white whale because, to be honest, I'm not sure if I'll ever truly achieve it. As I would like to get to world record once.
Mm.
I would like to stand alone at the top of the game, but that's only ever going to happen. I say this again if I keep going, and it
Hmm.
will happen if I keep going because there's no other world where it doesn't.
What's the record at right now?
2241. It
Mm. Okay.
just before was a 2249. It was very recently improved
Oh wow.
by what can only be described as close to a perfect run.
Really?
There
All
are
right.
there are errors, but there are things that are not implemented that I am doing
Mm.
that I am hoping eventually will give me the edge as I grow consistent at them and as I the chance really because um the gulp split which I mentioned was RNG
Mm.
earlier. The gulp split gotten in record is about 4.5 seconds faster than my gold,
Oh,
meaning
okay.
that in all of my attempts, I have never gotten a gulp of that quality.
Mm.
So you can kind of see my
Yes, I see. That brings up a question I
why.
have is
Yeah.
how does the RNG work and what is the swing?
So the swing is kind of hard to describe.
Okay.
So the RNG elements are during the first three phases of gulp, or during the first four hits, technically three hits. You have three different items. The pterodactyls, which fly into the boss fight to help you, will drop. They'll drop them from these eggs, and the eggs have different timers on them to when they crack and when the pterodactyls will actually drop them. That's part of the RNG. Is like there's RNG on the actual items you get, but also on how long the items take to drop and then break out of the eggs.
Hmm.
So the items are a barrel, a bomb, and a rocket. You can double hit gulp with all of these items and even potentially triple hit them um, with all of these items, with the exception of multiple bombs. So, for example, if you get three bombs on the phases beyond the fourth hit, you can't get a double. So you have to wait an entire cycle, or you can just hit them for a single, or whatever you do to decide. You're losing time there, no matter what.
Mhm.
Um, and then before that, you have you're allowed to hit them with a double barrel, which is the first item they drop. So they drop two. For your first four hits, they'll only drop two eggs at a time. After your past four hits, they'll drop three. For the first two items they'll drop, they'll always be two barrels. So you want to hit those two barrels into gulp. You can get a double off of that. Where they land on the field is RNG. How long they take to crack, all that's RNG.
Mm.
So I've learned to be able to hit a double barrel from everywhere, but not every double barrel saves as much time as another double barrel. Then you get two rockets, which you can very easily usually double. Um, and the RNG on those is a little bit less volatile because like you can just deal with it from anywhere. It'll be slower if one's one side of the field and the other's on the other side of the field. But they're usually that's the worst you'll get is just some unluckiness with it. And then everything from that point on is just out of your hands. You can
Mhm.
execute. It is hard to execute doubles for a lot of them. You can really stretch them and push them and make some doubles work that shouldn't work sometimes. But that's just a matter of experience and practice and stuff that you have to take it to the fight so many times in order to get the result, to get like a sub 2 minute gulp. And it's, I think, 5 or 6 people only 5 or 6 people have ever gotten 1 in 14 talisman, and I'm not one of them. So it's definitely challenging. I've got a 203. That's the closest I've gone, but it's just a lot of elements to it. There's a lot of RNG that you just straight up can't control. It's skill RNG is kind of what I like to describe it as, to an extent, because as long as you don't get triple bombed, there is a world you can make everything work. There is. It's just a matter of if you can figure it out in the little bit of time you have. Because Gulp is always like turning towards you, and if they turn towards you, they'll either charge at you or one of the items to use the special attack. And it's, you really have to play it very heads up and be there in the moment of the fight. Like, if I'm ever on a pace, I like to, if I get past Fracture Hills and it's a great run, I close chat, I just lock in, and I give myself as much focus as I can for past Fracture Hills, because there's a couple of tricks between them there. But it lets me kind of just fully get in the zone before I have to get to Gulp. It gives me like a 4 minute like prep timer in my head, just to be like, okay, this is where the run lives or dies. And it's volatile. It's tough.
Yeah, that sounds complicated. Do you know like the odds
Yep.
of getting the triple bomb?
I mean, every item has the same percentages
Okay.
to drop. So like, if it drops, like it's a 33% chance times 33% times 33.
Yeah. Okay.
So whatever that ends up being, like, let me pull out a
Got it.
calculator.
Just one. That's 127, right?
I think, or it's like 0.33 times 0.33 times 0.33 times 0.33. 0.035937
Yeah,
is what it says.
39%. Yeah. Okay.
So it's not a very high likelihood.
No.
It's it's very much a not likelihood.
Well, that's
But
good, I guess. But
yeah, well, it sometimes it stings more, because yesterday I had a run where or sorry, not yesterday, 2 days ago, um where I got 3 triple bombs back to back to back, and that was pretty awesome.
what? Wait. So
Yeah, I
that's
don't.
1 in 3 times 9.
Or is that 0.33 times 0.33? If anybody is out there watching this and knows math, feel free to correct me. I think it's 0.33 times 0.33.
Oh
Not.
wait, yeah. I'm not
It's like a
doing this
it's
right.
it's a 0.10, so it's a 10% chance, I think.
Okay.
I think, give or take. Which again, still, getting a 10% chance 3 times is pretty bad. Pretty not great.
Yes.
But yeah, it's overall it's a situation where a lot of the time you're able to skill your way out of it if you know how to really play it.
Okay.
But sometimes skilling your way out of it and trying to save time and maximizing that and the greed associated.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm a greedy runner too, is the problem. So like, if I'm like, I could hit this bomb over here and then guarantee the double, or I could like push it. Okay, I'll push it, and then you do that.
No. Okay.
Then instead of losing 2 seconds, you lose 30. So it's what it is.
Gambler's
We roll
fallacy.
with the punches. And more often than not, like a good gulp, like a good solid gulp is like a 215. Like, as in, like, you get it how you want it to be. And like a solid like gulp where you're still hitting all your doubles. You can do it usually in like 215. But then you have the RNG swing of, again, how long it takes for the bombs to drop, if they're dropping near perspective to each other, if you need to flame a barrel over or tackle a bomb a certain way. It's stupid. It reaches a point of genuine stupidity.
Well, runs got to have something like that usually.
Absolutely. It'd be way too easy if not. Why would I ever not want Gulp to be there? My beautiful green life.
Well, and I forget how deep into the run is that?
It's the third to last split. It's
Okay, so
about
fair.
you get there if you're on a good run, you're getting there in about like 19 minutes, give or take,
Out of like
into
23.
the.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yep.
unfortunate placement, but I mean,
It's not great. It's not
no,
awesome.
but I guess
It's
that makes runs that make it deep more exciting, right? So,
yes, and it makes it kind of a little bit frustrating because
well,
the way that the run is formatted, right, is the front half very dense in terms of reset points.
yeah.
Not like just because it's an early game, but because it's an actually really hard early game. So I usually take early games that are up to 30 seconds slower than my sum of best to that point because it is that volatile.
Mm.
And then the end game, you go gulp, which is your big RNG portion.
Yep.
Then you go into a trick called Penguin Proxy, which can be very, very tricky because sometimes these little fodder things they can run in front of each other, and if they run in front of each other a certain way, it can mess up the trick, which is just RNG and not your fault.
Mm.
And then you lose the run there. And then there's a trick in Dragon Shores to get on top of the wall, which is hard in itself. But then there's a follow-up trick to get the fireball a little bit faster than if you went all the way around, called Firewall, which saves about 7 seconds that I'm going for now. And then after all of that, if you manage to chain all that together, you have to finish off with the hardest trick in the speed in the entire series, which is Spurter and Ripto, which is a series of 8 very frame precise inputs, not frame perfect.
Mm.
Um, it is a trick that took me over 60 hours to hit a single time when I was first learning it. Um, and many runners have reported like tens of hours. There are some runners that are really great that have done it in like a couple, but for the most part, it usually takes people quite a long time to hit their first. With myself being the slowest, as far as I know.
Mhm.
um, and it's a trick at the end of the run that do you know like how tricks for you work in the sense of a trick doesn't it can be a trick and be hard,
Mhm.
but it can be harder with nerves,
Oh,
right?
well, yeah, of course.
Like some tricks I think aren't harder with nerves, if that makes sense. Like for example, there's a trick in Spyro 3 called Helmet Proxy. It's very linear. It's not too many steps.
Hmm.
Because of the number of steps associated with Sprint and Ripto and the lineup and everything, with nerves, it doesn't feel like butterflies in your stomach on a pace. It feels like pterodactyls.
Yeah.
Um, and I had, and I'll never forget it. It was it's the run I reacted to the best. It was my first 24, and the second I hit Sproter and Doripto, because like before I exited Dragon Shores, I started to feel it. I get the
Hmm.
stairs like, oh god, it's feeling. I'm feeling. I almost broke down in tears before I even got into the boss fight.
Mm.
Like, and then I closed it out, and it was like this emotional release.
Yeah.
Like when I say I care about speedrunning, it's not just from a what can it do for me perspective. It's what it's done for me
Hmm.
perspective. Because like you never know how much further you can go in something. And at that time, I didn't think a 24 was achievable for me. Like there were so many people above me on the board that had gone like there was a 22 at that point already. There were 23s, but I never thought I'd be close. And to get that 24 to be on that pace, there was no other thing I could do. It was also the first time I had gotten that pace at that point in the run. It was my first time having it. I clutched it out, and I was at that point just like so overwhelmed. Now I can get a 24 and it means nothing, but like at that time, it was like Jesus Christ, I'm sick. This is awesome. And yeah, to have Spartan Ripto at the end of the run with those kinds of nerves, like when I get my first 22 pace into that trick, it's gonna happen. It'll probably happen like the day before I leave for GDQ, knowing how I am.
Hmm.
Um, I hope that those pterodactyls behave for a few minutes, and I can close it out because that trick with nerves is otherworldly. I've done a lot of things with it too. Like, um, there's a runner named Blunt Bows who former world record holder and 14 talisman guy I look up to a lot. He recorded a video of him doing 100 of them to show the different variances and how if you get height here, you can lose a bit of height here and still be fine. How you can save it from here, whatever. And he showed like 100 different sirs. He's done it. He before I did was the most practiced sir runner of all time. Honestly, there's no way to really quantify who's practiced the most, but I have the longest streak of hit sirs at 27. I've hit 27 of this trick in a row
Hmm.
after taking 60 hours to hit it once because I have dedicated myself to it so much. It's a massive part of why I love this game because it just shows that just do it mentality of if you're in the moment with something and it's hard, it sucks, it's gonna suck. But if you keep doing it every day, it's gonna get easier, it's gonna get better, it's gonna become something that's second nature.
Mhm.
And that's what Sir became. Became something I don't really even practice anymore because I am that good at it.
Mhm.
And from a point where I never thought I'd hit it once, and when I was learning it, it wasn't to do it in runs, it wasn't to become top level at 14 talisman. It was just because I wanted to be able to. I just wanted to know I could. And to go from that to one of the best to ever do it, fucking sick. It just,
I
it's one of
get
those
you.
things where it shows the fruits of labor
Mm.
and how much the effort you put in will ultimately lead to being good at this thing that you never thought you'd be good at.
Mm.
And like, I don't know how well my camera's gonna pick it up, but like I have like a whole Sproder muscle
Oh my
there on this
god.
hand
Yeah.
that you can't see on this one,
No,
but
I.
it's like developed completely off of that. There's a callus here.
Oh yeah.
It's
No,
like,
it.
and that's from like years. That's like a year ago now because I don't practice it anymore because it hurts at a point. But
Yeah. The only thing I know
beautiful.
is holding an NES brick controller. It's rectangular, so the
Oh
corner is
yeah.
always hitting my
Mhm.
ring finger. So I have like a permanent bump there now.
Mhm.
So that's good. But
There's kind of a bump on my pinky here. You can kind of see. You
yeah,
can
yeah,
kind of see
yeah.
it there.
We all have our gamer injuries because
Yep.
we've been on the battlefield.
Oh, dude, I don't get me started. We're we're at 28. I feel like I'm 82, brother. It's getting tough sitting in this chair playing
Yeah.
video games.
Crippling
Yeah.
arthritis at 26. No, not really.
Oh,
But
my wrists actually kill me. Like low key
yeah.
sometimes they get me. Yeah, yeah. I've been doing like a lot of stretching though to like there's this awesome book. If you actually get like hand pains and stuff like that, you should read it. It's called The Mind Body Prescription,
Oh,
and
this
it's
is
all
the one
about
that like cured simply, right?
maybe
Oh,
I
you
got
don't
it
even
from a
know
runner
about it.
named
Okay.
Vanny, who is simply like a Mario runner or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah. He was like world record level of 120 star long time ago. And he like took a very
I know
much
them vaguely.
yeah, I mean they're super popular on Twitch. Like
I'm sure I've heard the name once or twice. Like I reckon I've seen them somewhere.
mhm. But
Sorry,
yeah,
continue.
they developed hand pain and like
Hmm.
retired for a few years, mainly just did commentary stuff and grew the stream in other ways. But I think it was that book exactly that he read and then
Hmm.
his hand pain went away. And
Yeah,
he ended up getting the 120 star record years later. So I mean,
it's
it's
proof in the
pretty
pudding right
cool.
there, brother.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If you are though, seriously, it's been helping me. Making
Mine's not bad
sure I'm
enough where I'm
stretching and making
worried.
sure I'm keeping on top of it. Hmm.
Yeah, I stretch before I ever do runs. So
Yeah,
very
it's
important, by
it's
the
it's
way. Do
crazy.
that.
Oh yes, dude. And like especially while you're doing runs, like I do 6 hour streams every day,
Mhm.
um 12 hour 12:45 to 6:45 EST, and the way that my body works is I just get so sore sitting here for so long.
Mm.
Like I'll start just doing runs and like this will be I'll give you like a POV. I'll lift the mic up with me too, and this will just be me, and this is my webcam just.
There you
And
go.
I want to adjust the webcam because I'll just be like here stretching, like doing this, doing like a little bit of that, like whatever,
I don't know
just
if
to
you'll
like
understand the reference, but that's Dr. Mario strats right there.
Oh, is that like a melee thing maybe?
Oh no, yeah,
No, okay. Dr.
here
Mario is a melee, right? Or am I crazy?
he is. No, you're right. What I'm referencing is, you know how like they have big classic Tetris events, um, like NES
Big
Tetris.
classic. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, like they
Yeah.
have a big NES Tetris scene. Well, there's also it's not nearly as big, but there's like a Dr. Mario NES scene where they
Mhm.
do a battle mode, and for some reason for tournaments you have to stand to play the game. That's just like a thing they do.
That's cool.
So that's just what that reminded me of.
That's interesting. That's a
Yeah.
very that's why. I mean, I'm sure
There's
you
a
don't know why.
reason. It's not like a reason that I think makes sense or something. Like it's kind of like just a community thing. I forget exactly what it is, but that is just
Mhm.
something they do.
Yep.
So I'm sure you can get a chair if you like need one, but if you can
Yeah.
stand, you stand. It's that kind of
Yeah, it's a
thing.
preferred thing.
But
That's
I only see that in
interesting.
Dr. Mario like NES stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I gotcha. That's very interesting. But no, I do it a lot with my streams where I'll just stand up for like a run or two or like a little bit during a run just to stretch my legs, like let my knees like breathe a little bit because like sometimes I'll go like full shrimp, we'll do this the whole nine. Sometimes you can't really see my legs, but like I'll crisscross applesauce up here.
Yeah.
We'll go that whole thing and like that can really hurt your knees if like you're like that for too long. Um, you know, and it's good to get up and stretch. Take your breaks in between runs, and if you have like a lull period, like for example in 117, like there's like a 45-second period where you can just get up and stretch. You can, um, if you can sprint to the bathroom, throw your hands under a sink fast enough, or if you don't want to, I guess you don't have to,
There's
and
always
run back to
wash
your chair, you
skip.
can. Yep, a lot of people do it. I try not to. I try to avoid
I
it,
wouldn't
but
recommend it, but it
um,
is funny to
no,
say.
it's yeah, absolutely. It's so I'm not gonna sit here and judge. Whatever happens in somebody's home is not mine to judge.
Fair enough.
Um, but yeah, no, it's a it's nice to have like that little bit of time in the run to just get up and stretch, just
Hmm.
roll your shoulders. Like this is like big for like waking yourself up. Like
Mm.
these because what this does is it activates your what's it called your wakey uppy stuff up here. What is it? What is that chemical called in your brain? I can't remember. But
I
it's
know
like something that
melatonin
truckers
makes you
do.
sleep, but
Yeah, melatonin's like good for sleep, but if you do this, it's
I don't know
supposed to
the
like
opposite of melatonin. But adrenaline?
yeah, I guess your adrenaline
I don't
receptors,
know.
whatever the chemical
I'm not a
version
doctor.
is. We were talking about Dr. Mario. Can we get him in here?
True.
No,
I don't have his
fair.
number, but I'm sure he's
Fair.
standing somewhere. But
But yeah, no,
anyway.
it's it's very useful just for like getting yourself just wake yourself up, stretch all the time, make sure
Mm,
your body's in good shape because you only get one. No matter if you want to spend it gaming or doing sports, athletics, whatever, treat it well, no matter
mm,
what it is, because at some point it's gonna catch up to you. I'm not old, but I'm not a young man anymore. I'm 28. We are
mm,
we are getting closer to 30 every day, and it's you can tell by the bags and the wrinkles and the crow's
mm.
feet and the forehead, the hairline going further up. It's not you got to take care of it if you want to keep it. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about all that, especially with gaming, because it's just like one of those things like, oh, I don't need to stretch. I'm just
Just
get up
gaming,
and
but
stretch.
I mean, speedrunning,
Yes.
people take it for granted. It is like a lot of work, mainly like
Yeah.
mentally. But I mean,
Oh, dude.
if you have like a
Yes.
physical like mashing strat or something, like that shit
Yep.
destroys wrists very fast.
Oh yeah. Like for example, the trick Spurred Ripto. The reason why I mentioned it's kind of painful is because like it's a repeat emotion. Like you're doing this on repeat, and you're rolling your thumb like this.
Oh
This
god.
part of your hand through
Yeah.
up to here
Oh yeah.
hurts so much after a while. I did a 12-hour challenge of a category called 40 Euro Inspire 2, which it's a cool category. Most pain I've ever been in speedrunning because while it doesn't have Sword and Ripto, it has a repeated motion with this through double jumping, which is just your bread and butter trick in Spyro 2.
Hmm.
Um, and when you do that for 12 hours straight,
Mm.
it was like around like hour 9, my arm started, oh, this hurts. And I get to hour 12 and I'm like, I kind of want to do one more, but I'm at this point, it's
Yeah.
shooting up my arm pain.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up doing one more and I got the 49 I wanted. Um, I wouldn't advise it,
Of
but
course.
it's one of those things where like you really feel it. And the next
Mhm.
day, my arm was killing me. Like it hurts so bad. And when I would practice this trick, Spartan Ripto, um, you want to repeat practice. You want to be consistent with it. But I couldn't do it for more than like 5 minutes at a time. So I had to finagle my grip style. I had to
Mm.
change it. I had to like, because I would death grip the controller, like really hard death grip the controller, not like intentionally, but like just for whatever reason, it's just how my hands like doing it. I had to learn to like really loosen it, and I can practice it for like 15, 20 minutes now without really hurting that bad, if I wanted to. But I had to learn that because otherwise I was hurting myself,
Mhm.
and that comes helpfully like doing the stretches helps too, but it comes off the back of like, okay, I need to look at this, evaluate what I'm doing wrong, and then really figure it out and train my body to not do that. It's crazy how much these repeated actions can have genuine strenuous effects on you.
Oh yeah. No, I've had my fair share of problems. Like, I really try not to do more than 4 hours at a time, even though
Yeah.
I'm not doing and I'm not even doing anything really that taxing compared to
Mhm.
what I've seen other people do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is just you can damage things permanently,
Mhm.
and if you
It's
want to
too
keep
easy.
gaming, you kind of can't have that happen.
Yeah, I mean, my friend Sam has mentioned to me before how much Spyro 2 hurts him, like Hypno Shark rather,
Mhm.
and Kylie Cuby, who runs a bunch of the Crash games, she's mentioned how she can't even like really play like Crash 3 anymore, like in
Mm.
the same way because doing the zigzag motion, just her wrists can't do it.
Yeah.
Um, and it's crazy. Like the if you don't take care of it, if you don't be attentive to it early enough, you are going to hurt yourself for the long term. So
Mhm.
keep on it, keep yourself well rested, keep yourself in good shape, and don't end up hurting yourself permanently. Ideally,
Don't do too many 12-hour streams. You see, what was nice about the 12-hour challenges I was talking about is you could break it up into multiple days, like do 4, 4, and 4. That's what I would do because
okay, yeah,
that is a lot less taxing in many ways.
yeah.
So
Like I'm a big fan of people who push the limits of human like ability,
sure, yeah.
but I really don't like when people in speedrunning like push themselves too hard. Like it gets hard to watch for me. I won't name names,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen people like live for like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 hours to do a speed run. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like step away, go sleep, take
Like
care. Like
those.
not like in like a mean way. Like I
Yeah.
don't mean to sound judgmental with it. I just mean in the sense of like I'm genuinely concerned for you. Like I don't want you to do permanent damage to yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I like I don't like try to project that and tell people that verbally because I think it's not my place.
Yeah.
Like the people who are, if it's somebody I'm close to, yeah, I'll say that. But if it's somebody who I know vaguely or I've watched or I'm a viewer of, it's like I know that's not what they want to hear. I know they're
Yeah.
just going to view me as a random, just being like an ass. So I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna be like, oh, good luck,
Good
have
luck to
fun.
you. Yeah. No, I know. I know a lot of people that have done. I think what is the 1545? I think
Yep,
that's the
yep,
Mario and the PlayStations and your Rare, and it's like
yep.
do it solo, no sleep, and I'm just like, that's like 2 full days.
I couldn't ever. Like the longest I've stayed up in my life is like 40 hours, and by the
Mm,
end of it, I felt like my body was not my body anymore. Like it felt like it was leaving.
yeah.
And I am all for the sake of, well, the timer matters, real time speedruns matter. Bro, what are we doing? Just just like say that you can have a sleep break in the middle and finish and have it be a solo still. Why are
Yeah,
we why
and
are
I
we
I
why
think
are we
a lot of
incentivizing people to do long-term detrimental damage to their health for the sake of getting an arbitrary record in a series of children's games?
I think a lot of those kinds of categories do have it where, you're allowed so many breaks, like even a sleep break, and you can pause your timer for it, to prevent that kind of stuff now, which is good. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a big fan of breaks and the runs,
yeah.
and not like, I think they should be liberal, like as in like they should be a bit subjective, but they shouldn't be too giving. Like I think that there should be, if there's like a run like that, have a sleep break,
Mhm.
please. If there's a run every Spyro game category where you run completion of all that, please have multiple sleep breaks. Please, whatever. Mario 602. I think the 602 itself is crazy long. Like
It's like
doing
a day on
the
average. The
Galaxy game.
world record's like 18 hours. So,
Yeah, that's like almost fine. I think that's like
yeah, most
you should
602s are
allow
fine.
for like a 10-minute break somewhere in there or something, like to bathroom and maybe eat a little bit of food or something.
Well,
Maybe not the food,
I think they
something.
do breaks in a way where they're implemented into the run. Like, Sunshine has the gigantic cutscene, and you have to sit through
Yeah.
the credits in the galaxies or something. So, like, it
Oh, do
kind
you
of it
actually?
kind of
That's cool.
works. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
like
That's a good
sleep
way to do
though.
it.
Yeah, no. But I
Yeah,
think
like please sleep.
yeah, I think for like the race is RTA, like, they do the race twice a year. But for like leaderboard submissions, I think they allow certain breaks and stuff. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
entirely sure. That's not something I'd ever put myself through personally, but I know a lot of people
same.
that do. So,
Yeah, I mean the longest runs I've done are I was the inaugural runner for a category called Spyro Trilogy All Main Categories. It's what
oh
says
dear
on the
God.
tin. It's the original 3 games and all of the main categories, the mainly listed ones. So it's the 337 and the NMS trifecta and the Vortali Any trifecta, as it's called. It's basically all the trick categories. And Spyro 20% at the end as a little cherry on top, if you will. It's for me, it ended up being just shy of 13 hours for my first run.
Okay, that's not as
I
bad as I thought it
actually,
would be.
yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like the I actually went to run it back. I had a day recently where I was on the front page of Twitch,
Mhm.
um, which is very cool. I didn't ever
Yes.
think I'd do that. Very interesting, very scary a little bit in a way.
Yeah.
But I went to go run it back on that day because like, oh well, I'm gonna be here for all this time, so like this is a great day to do this. And I get about 10 hours in, and Spyro 3 crashes at the
Oh.
50-minute mark in the 100 egg run. So I'm like, and I was about 40 minutes ahead too. So it was like
Oh.
it ate all my time save plus 10 minutes. I'm just like,
Because you can't like save during the run,
you can. It's
but
just
it's slower.
it's
So you
slower.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Gotcha. Gotcha.
it
Okay.
also was just it was a very avoidable crash, and I was just being stupid. Is the best way
Oh,
I can
I
put
thought it
it
was
to
just
you.
random. Oh,
No, it wasn't. It was
that'd be even worse.
there's
I
yeah,
think.
no,
Okay.
it was an on me thing,
Okay.
100%. I've not practiced that category as much as a lot of other ones,
Mhm.
but I was trying to do a trick that does run a risk of crashing if you do it a certain way, and I
Mhm.
decided I'm good enough. I'll hit it. I didn't hit it. I did in fact not hit it. It's crazy how when you don't do something every day, you can't just ego your way through it every time.
Mm.
Um, but hey, listen, like I said, I'm a greedy runner. If I can save the extra, it literally would have been an extra second and a half.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm
Okay.
safe. Yeah,
Bro.
burn a 10-hour effort for a second and a half.
Jesus Christ. It's
I have
for the
nothing else to
content. It's
say.
for
I'm
the
just gonna keep doing the
content.
hands. Nothing else.
Oops.
Yeah, yeah.
My God.
It was a brutal moment. It really was. Um, yeah, no, we gotta, but we'll run it back sometime eventually, and I'll try to strive for a sub 12. Even though I think I really would need to get better at a few different components of it first. Like I mentioned before, I'm mainly a trick based category runner, but
Mhm.
I have a decent time in the 100% category inspired to. I have a 145, records of 132. So it's a good ways off, but it's not terrible. I think I can get it down to like a 139 within reason. I
Mhm.
think I could. Um, and then for 117, my PB is like over an hour off of record, but also that category is very long. and very much not what I want to run all the time. So it's hard to like convince myself to be like, let's grind this, let's get into it. And like 4 hours for a run is just so much. I can't
Yeah.
be asked.
My longest runs are
And
like 2.5 hours. And that's
yeah,
something I've done once. So
yeah. No,
whatever.
I often say for me a long run is anything over an hour.
Yeah,
Anything over an hour I
yes, true.
consider a long run. And I love being able to just take runs and reset them or whatever. But it's over an hour, it's like I don't want to reset. I just want to play the game because I just want to see all the things in it. Because if I reset 20 minutes in to an hour and 45-minute speed run, I'm not gonna see the rest, and it's frustrating. It's one of those things I grapple with. I think as mainly a trick based speedrunner, like you accept your resets 2 minutes in, but when you're 20 minutes in, you want to reset. It's like this is like a whole tally run. I'm at gulp right now, but no, I have to reset. It's like yeah,
My main game is 5 minutes. So
yeah,
I'm good. Although
you're
I still
super.
feel it if it's deep.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear that. It's definitely I don't know how I feel about too short of runs because like for example, Spire to 8%, its record level is 727.
Mm.
I have an 822. I can very regularly finish runs in less than 10 minutes in it. Um, but like I don't like it
Mm.
because I like that little bit of flavor. But it's
Yeah.
also like a lot of Spire to 8% is like loading screens. Like it's overall probably about like 4.5 minutes of gameplay, which
Mm.
I don't know how it is for like Mario, but
There are a
it's
lot of cutscenes in Mario 1. Like half the
oh
run
gotcha,
you're not even playing. It's
gotcha.
so it's like 3
I
minutes
never
of
really
gameplay.
I never really messed with like the Mario games in general, honestly. Like the I was in the original, sorry, I should say, because I have
Yeah.
played around with like the 3D ones,
Yeah.
but the original classic ones. The reason I play Spyro, honestly, is it's weird because there is a world where I was a Mario runner,
Mm.
and that world was where my brothers didn't hog the NES and the SNES when I was a kid,
Oh, interesting.
because we had the consoles and I got to play them a little bit as a kid, but they didn't want to play the PS1. They didn't want to play Spyro or Die
That's
Hard or whatever we had on the PS1.
fascinating.
Yeah,
That
right.
they chose
Because
that over the PS1 and that's what you got stuck
right.
with.
Well, I think it was just because it was popular with their generation, right? Like
Yeah,
the
okay.
kids in school with them, they were like, "Oh, you play Mario? Wow, Mario, whatever." Like,
Okay.
you know, how kids are.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting saddled with the PS1, and my mom would sit around and play with me all the time, like Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. I cited that before as it's my favorite one. Casually, it is. Um, and I love it as a speedrun too. I think it's really cool. At some point or another, I plan on doing a lot more of it. Honestly, my goal for GDQ and for doing events in general is I'm hoping to run the entirety of what's called Vortaliani with that category I mentioned before, Vortex, and with 14 Tally I'm doing this year, of course, and with Spiral 380% because they're all really cool categories that I love. It just so happens that 14 Tally is the one I've been focused on and is kind of my baby.
Yeah.
But I was sitting around the PS2 with my mom, or the PS1 rather, um, and she would like do a lot of the hard things for me, and I have such vivid memories of like, we're just past Christmas, right? Like getting on Christmas Day and then sitting down with her and her like playing in front of me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool! Like there's these vibrant colors and dragons and stuff, and I'm like, this is awesome. And then obviously years later, little did I know at like that young of an age that this game that I loved would have such a profound impact on my life and like give me a chance to perform one of the games in that same series in front of tens of thousands of people and like share that love with you with loads of people, and it's crazy. It's so crazy to me, man. It really is. I've been thinking about GDQ in that way recently, where it's like it almost feels like a season finale, like is how I've been describing it to my friends, because it's like I feel like it's all built up to this not close for the story, because it's gonna keep going, but it's gonna close the chapter of like this is what this started as. It started off as something small, something incredibly like personal. Like I love these games from when I was a kid, to growing into a love that I get to share with people, and then now I get to share and showcase it on the biggest stage possible. It's the Super Bowl of speedrun,
Mm-hmm.
and I am over the moon ecstatic about the feeling of it. And I say season finale because it's that closing moment. You know, I never thought I'd be at a GDQ. You know, from the moment I started speedrunning, it wasn't I want to get world record. It was I want to show these games that I really like. And it started with Reignited, but very quickly after that first year, it morphed into I just want to show these Spyro games, and then it became specifically I want to showcase Spyro 2. That was the only category I submitted
Hmm.
because it's just the only one that I could see myself doing this year. And like I said, I did that whole if I get the 23 by this, I'll submit to GDQ, but if not, I'm not. And it almost feels perfect to do it, and the way I feel about it is just so full circle
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what makes it so exciting, man.
I've had very similar feelings with my first runs because
Mhm.
Mario 1 was the first game I ever beat. And
Oh hell yeah!
so and look at me now. I'm still playing the damn thing. So
First game I beat, the last one I'm gonna beat. I swear to God.
I beat it once as a kid, and now I can beat it 10,000 times a year. I don't
Hey,
know. Probably
that's
not that much.
it's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes, that's
Yeah.
how many minutes are in a year? 525,600 minutes.
There's a song about
That's
it?
that song, right?
I don't know.
Have you heard it? It's
No.
525,600 minutes.
The
How many minutes for a cup of coffee? Something like that. Like, what's that
the
song called?
the the music sounded familiar.
525,600
The note progression. I don't know.
minutes.
But anyway.
Oh, it's called Rent. Seasons of Love. Sorry. Anyway,
Not what I was expecting, but okay.
where's it? Wait, no. 5,206 minutes by. Why is it? It's giving me like 4 different results. Anyway, continue. Apologies.
Anyway.
I'm being tangential.
No, it's fine. Um I just I'm trying to think what to go to now. I guess talk about other games you've run that we haven't talked about yet.
So, I mean, my speedrunning history is very interesting. So,
Okay.
it started. It started with Spyro obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and
We've talked a bit
then I
about
was
that.
like, yeah, a little bit, and we touched on some other things, but like eventually, like with speedrunning, I think everybody goes through these phases where like I could speedrun that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at a game, I could speedrun that, I could learn that, and one of those games ended up being Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and I started running
Okay.
round 15 speedruns, which are as it
Oh,
sounds, you get around 15, and
zombies. Okay.
I yeah, sorry.
No, no, it's
I
fine.
think Black Ops 3, and I always just
Assume
colloquially
zombies.
think zombies.
I
Yeah,
mean, that would
I
make the
it's
most sense anyway, but I know people do run
yeah,
like campaign stuff.
yeah,
Um,
that's true.
but yeah, no, I've had many an hours in Black Ops 3 because I mean, best zombies experience. Let's just call it what it
Oh,
is. Like, holy
dude,
shit.
it's so good. It's like unbelievable how good it is.
And then
Um,
if you have the Steam version, there's workshop support.
oh my dude, I was playing some custom maps. I fun fact, I subgoaled this like a week ago. There's a Spyro 2 viable ending
Ah,
survival map
there you go.
that is based off of Joe's Arena, and I played it. I was like, this is. I literally the sub goal was titled Spyro 2 with guns, and I said
Ah,
every time somebody asked about it, I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you until we hit it. When we hit
mm,
it, I'll show you, but I don't want to tell you because otherwise it'll ruin the surprise. Because
mm,
I want this to
yeah.
be a surprise. And everyone was like, "This is the worst sub goal of all time." No, it was fun. I had an awesome time with it. A lot of people actually enjoyed it, but it was definitely funny just to find that one day and just be like, wow, this is really funny. But no, I did round 15 speed runs. I actually got a world record sweep for every map in the game,
What the
with no
hell?
goblins.
Okay. Holy shit.
Yep. I genuinely, and I mean this, it was just resetting on the first 5 rounds, and then trying to get good RNG on the spawns and then getting to the second area or whatever, wherever we were going on each map. And it was fun. I had a great time with it. I think none of them are record anymore. But that was like far 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that.
I mean, that's a lot of maps. That game has like, I mean, is that all DLC?
13?
Yeah,
14?
I mean, yeah, there's
14
ton.
maps. Shadows of Evil, Zetsubo, Gorod Krovi, Revelations. What's the other one missing? Drazendrak.
Yeah.
The Giant, and then the 8 Chronicles
Yeah.
maps.
Nox,
So it's 14. Verruct. Moon.
Origins, Shangri-La, Ascension. Am I missing
It's
one?
only 7. Noct, Shinonuma, Verruct.
Because that's the Giant, and that's the 4th one. And then, oh, it has Kino.
That's dude, how do we forget Kino?
I don't know.
Like, but no, I had gotten those, and I was just fun. It was honestly like just mindless grinding, but it was fun. It was like enjoyable for the time.
Mhm.
I have joked eventually like that's gonna be what I go back to. That gonna return to my roots.
Yeah.
I'm also very, very one of my most famed runs from outside of Spyro is when I held the world record in 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Vanny ending, no major skips. Now, the story behind this is very fun. It's very awesome. So, this is a category where you complete the Vanny ending. There's this character named Vanny. She's like a rabbit lady, and you do her version of the ending because that game has like 7 endings or something. And no major skips involves, as you might imagine, a lack of major glitches where you basically, in the normal 8%, you would literally just go to bounds and pretty much just walk to the button.
Yeah, I recall those very early on being like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah,
or something stupid.
It's not even like a speed run to me. Like it is, but it didn't look fun to me. I'd rather learn the NMS. So I learned NMS and I grinded it for like 2-3 weeks and I got record. And I submitted the run. And my splits background got me in a little bit of trouble. With the FNAF speedrun community. And the splits background was this, how would I describe it? It was Freddy from the game. He was facing away from the camera, and it's a custom model of him, where it's like a comedically, like, not like sexual, but like a comedically large ass. Like it just looks stupid and kind of funny. And that's my splits background.
Okay.
And they tell me, hey, listen, you can't have this background. We can't accept this speed run. And I'm like, I can just crop it out if you really like, we can just have it so it shows the time. They're like, no, we're gonna need to like really review this. So this run goes into the rigor for like 2 months with the FNAF mods who are so serious about this. And I can't crop out the ass that was the problem. I just thought it was a funny picture. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was just funny. I liked having meme split backgrounds back then. What do you do?
Well, you got to think of the children, that franchise.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But it's like, here's the thing. The record before me had like anime girls.
No.
With, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I'm like, I thought it was funny. And it gets verified after 2 months.
Holy shit.
And then I see your run has been verified on the email list. Your 5 Nights at Freddy's Security Breach world record has been beaten by immediately after. And I'm like, you just waited for a run to beat me. Just to, yeah, cool. And that was the mod who messaged me who got the record. So
interesting.
I'm not upset about it, but I think it's funny. Honestly, I laugh at it more nowadays.
Funny, but
yeah, it is what it is. I can't fight it. I can't. At a point it reaches a level of parody where you kind of like, people are gonna be people. They're gonna have their rulings in their SOC board and fight about it, whatever. There was also like some weird rules on that board that I didn't understand because I tried learning the inbounds category, which apparently I had done a trick that looked identical to another trick, but because I teleported it wasn't inbounds or something, and it wasn't very clear what was defined and what wasn't. So after that whole debacle, and after I tried inbounds for a little bit, I just stopped trying to bother with the game because it's like
Yeah.
these people are very clearly not uh putting out what the actual rules are and making it clear like what is and isn't okay.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just gonna shimmy my way over here and not play this game ever again. But it was a fun
Fair.
little period because I actually thought the game was fun. The game itself is actually pretty enjoyable. That category is very fun. But we're moved on from that, and later on, I would run other games such as I mentioned earlier, You Get From Into Memories, very
Mhm.
fun game. I don't take it very seriously. Kind of
No
cool
one
though.
does. I don't think.
Some people, I
All
swear,
right.
do.
All
Uh,
right. All right. You know what I mean, though.
yeah.
Mm.
Compared to like Mario or Spyro or something, I get you.
Well,
Um, so another game I ran, which I was the inaugural runner for as well, was a game called Glide the Dragon. Glide the Dragon is kind of like a spiritual successor to the Legend of Spyro games. The reason I ran this game and knew about it is because a friend of mine mentioned to me like, "Hey, they're looking for voice talent," and I actually voice a character in the game. So,
oh,
a little
okay.
fun fact about that. That's part of why I wanted to mess with it. It's also got a very cool movement system. It plays a lot like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta.
Mm.
Um,
Are you a
so
voice
those are up
actor?
your alley. Yeah,
Oh.
I do. I've done voicing for a few games. Notably Glide the Dragon. There's a game called Flit and Flutter that's coming out on Steam in the next, I believe, year or so. That'll be releasing. I voiced a couple characters in that. I'm hoping to hear back on another game I might be voicing some people in soon. I've been putting forward a lot of auditions lately because I really want to push myself as a voice actor
Mm.
and get myself into more and more games and series, animations and stuff. It's a big passion of mine.
Hmm.
I love acting, talking, and kind of building narratives. It's a big passion of mine. So that
Sick.
that is something I'm looking to do more of.
Yeah. Didn't know that at all. So cool.
Yeah, it's not something I really advertise as much as maybe I should.
Mm.
It's on my Blue Sky and my Twitter or whatever, but I don't
Yeah.
go into my streams and just start like doing voices. It's like I
Yeah.
try to keep that to. I'm a little bit anxious about it sometimes because you don't want to embarrass yourself, but at the same time you got to be yourself. It's
Yeah. I mean,
a savage thing.
I don't know. That's cool.
Yep. Beyond that, even though about me on Glide and my time with that running a category world 8% no out of bounds, I ran Mort the Chicken. I've run Sonic R to
Oh,
varying levels of success.
interesting.
I'm a very prestigious former and current world record holder for Tiger Woods 99 PGA Tour Golf. Very prestigious game right there. Um,
Ooh.
I hold world record in all courses. Previous
Okay.
world record, 3 courses. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Uh, uh, Not to brag, I'm ninth place in Fall Guys, 5 wins percent co-op.
They have
Um,
leaderboards for Fall Guys?
they do. It's really funny
Hey, when that
because
game
it's
came out, I was one of the like speedrunners that became like a Fall Guys. Like,
okay.
I
Yeah.
have 200 wins.
200 wins in the title.
Yeah,
Fuck.
no, I had a win counter. Hey,
I love
I
that. I
was in a
love that.
Fall Mania.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not here to make fun of it.
I was in Fall
It's just like
Mania. It
you
was
think of
great.
that era. That's cool,
That was a
honestly.
fantastic era for me actually because that's what got me out of my comfort zone and like meet a bunch of other speedrunners that I probably wouldn't have
Hmm.
interacted with
Yeah,
otherwise. Plus COVID, we needed
it's
to do something. So,
it's one of those things where like by trying something new like that, like it's crazy the connections you make
mhm,
because I mentioned it before, like Spyro and like I had a couple people I knew beforehand, like I knew No Shark and knew my friend Kieran,
mhm.
but like it's blossomed into so many friendships. Like Laura, she is an incredible Spyro one runner. Deo, incredible Spyro one runner. Ricky, like without joining into like a community like speedrunning, I don't do any of these things. It's crazy. Like even just hopping into a new game, it's crazy. Like I hopped in the Jack Discord. I met like 4 or 5 people, and now I'm friends with like a bunch of Jack runners, and I know
Mhm.
them, and they interact with me, and I interact with them, and I see what they do, and I check out their stuff, and I'm like, this is cool. But it's like with Fall Guys, and especially around that time, it's like there's so many people in that space.
Oh,
Like
that
you
was
meet,
an era,
yeah.
that's for sure.
I didn't really get into it that much. Like, admittedly, I probably played Fall Guys more since its like heyday than I did in its heyday, because like
Mm.
I liked it, but I was working all the time, and I never,
One thing I
yeah.
remember is someone made this like ridiculous program that tied into the
Mhm.
game, or not only did it have a win counter and like wins that day, but it would like keep track of splits for all the games, and like I we were going in.
Dude,
Oh,
that's
what's your
crazy.
PB in this course, or gold split? And it's all
Dude.
RNG bullshit anyway. And I
Oh
remember
yeah.
like all the out of bounds shit going on too.
Oh, dude, I remember seeing
Uh,
clips of that.
yeah,
Like,
I was
do
in
you know
on
what
that.
I think of when I think of Fall Guys? Like
What?
the name I think of? Tim the Tatman. Do you
Oh,
remember how much he was getting bullied back in the day on
I
Twitch because
that's
of
not
it?
someone I've ever watched.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
all the Fall Guys
Yeah,
content I would watch are other speedrunners I knew,
that's
and
fair.
they were the ones that were doing the out of
Yeah,
bounds bullshit, and me too, of course. But
yeah, yeah.
I wasn't
But
as
no,
good
Fall
as a
Guys.
lot of others.
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, you got 200 wins, so that's more than me. I'll give you that.
I knew people with like
Um,
2,000. It
well,
was
that's
crazy.
listen, just scribble on a little zero next to yours, and
Yeah.
nobody's the
I
wiser.
think I got up to
Uh,
like 400 something though.
that's
Eventually, I quit after what, season 6. I don't know.
mm,
I didn't like when they got bought by Epic and went free to play, because
yeah,
I liked like, here's $20 for a one time purchase. Now I can do all your seasons for free with your season pass. And because I don't like the free to play, but you
yeah,
buy the pass every time, and they did that, and I was like, this is
yeah.
the one thing I liked, that you were different. Whatever. Anyway, they also
Do we have
started
like two
vaulting
minutes for a quick
games.
intermission by chance, or
Oh,
no?
yeah.
Just quick to run to the bathroom. Be
Oh, here.
one
Yeah.
sec.
Okay. It is back. Thank you, OBS pause button. Anyway.
Sweet.
Yes, the recording will
Um.
not be interrupted. Where were we?
Oh, so we were talking about Fall Guys. You're
Of
mentioning
course.
how you for the season pass structure and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think it's really lame. I hate the paid season passes and
Mm.
stuff like that in gaming.
And every
I think
fucking
that
game
we
does
we've
it too.
reached, dude, and it's like it. The problem with it is, right, and this is what I say about it, is you then need to commit to that game if you buy
Mm.
the pass, and it's like, bro, I want to go play Rocket League for like a couple games. I'm not buying the Rocket Pass.
Yeah.
Like, just let me buy the stupid cosmetic, and you'll still make a little money off me. But just don't let me be like, oh, you have to play like you have to get 70 levels, and then you can unlock the painteds, and then stupid.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate
Yep.
it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate
Again,
it.
Fall Guys
It's
was
just
the
too much
only
time.
one I liked because you got it every season.
Yep.
And so you had the option, and it didn't cost extra. It was just like, oh, if you play the season, here you go, because you bought the game. And I was like, yay, cool. And not anymore.
Yeah.
And then they started vaulting levels, and then, yeah, never played again.
Never
I
played.
haven't played in 4 years.
I don't
Or
blame you.
5 years. Actually, it's probably 5 years now. Well, no,
Has the
the
game
new
been out
year
5
hit
years?
in 20.
When did Fall Guys come
I
out?
played Fall Guys on New Year's Eve, 2020. Actually, I remember because we were doing a whole.
Oh yeah, it came out on August 4th,
Yeah.
2020.
So I did play into 2021, but at some point I stopped and never touched it again. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that was a whole era of me doing something different.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I
Good
get you.
times. But anyway, I didn't know they had leaderboards.
Yeah. So ninth place duos, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
With my duo partner Kieran, like again the person who
Mhm.
helped me get into speedrunning. One of the people got me into speedrunning. Um, Beyond that, I've done Crash Tag Team Racing as well. Very phenomenal speedrun, unironically.
I
As
know
much as that game is kind
CTR,
of
but what's
yeah.
I don't know, tag team.
Honestly, Crash Tag Team Racing is less of a racing game and more of a platformer with like kind of racing-ish
Huh.
elements and a lot of mini games. It's very weird. It's not anything
Okay.
like CTR in any way, in
Yeah.
all honesty, other than you race in a car and that's
Yeah.
the end of it.
Obviously everyone talks about
Um,
CTR, so I haven't heard of this one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Crash Tag Team Racing. It's really cool. I ran a category called 80% No PSW, aka No Penguin Spacewalk. Ton of fun. It's like if 14 Talisman, the category I love, was a Crash game. Essentially, it's just full of tricks, really cool little optimizations. I like a lot of quirkiness, and it's just really good. Like it's just a really really good speed run. Very underrated. Like the for context, right? The number of runners on the board for this category, there are 34 runs total,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's such a good speed run, and there needs to be more. I hope one day there is more. Um, and then I've run a little bit of Mario Kart World.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've run some Deltarune. I've done Chapter
Ah,
3 speed runs.
okay.
Um, mostly just to try something different. I learned it on a bit of a whim, and I have like a 45 in it. It's not very good. It's not terrible, but I did a couple runs, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. Um, and of course, I mentioned it earlier. Arguably my greatest achievement in speedrunning, ripped away from me just days after Christmas.
Mm.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer 2025. I gotta tell you, man, I've been having horrible sleep since last night
I
when
understand.
when the record was ripped from me unjustly, um, by the current world record holder, and
Mm-hmm.
I think after we get off this, I'm gonna need to get back to Rudolph because I need that back. But no, for real, it's a really awful game, but it's kind of a fun speed run.
Hey, I say
With a lot
bad
of
games make great speedruns. Look at Sunshine.
hey, there we
Hey,
go. I looked at Mario 1. Sorry. Sorry,
hey,
sorry, sorry.
okay.
Sorry. I also have run CTR. I've
Okay.
done all cups and 8% at MG in that game. Um, and I mentioned before, but also Pokemon Gold has been a recent
Mm-hmm.
addition for me. Ton of fun with that. That category in game is a lot of fun. Manipulous Pokemon is something I want to do more of in general, but it's just plenty of fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and lastly, I've also done the 1545 as part of a relay.
Yes. Okay.
Um, just doing one of the games.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I think I did Spyro 2 or Spyro 1.
Yeah, you said relay, and
Um,
I was like, thank God.
no, dude, I would if I did a solo 1545, it would be longer. I don't even know. I would be like weeks, genuinely.
Okay.
It would not be a good endeavor because I don't even know how to complete I don't know how to complete Galaxy 1 or 2. Like I could maybe scrape my way through 120 star, 120 shine, all that fun stuff. But I couldn't for the life of me ever do the rare games either. Like Donkey Kong 64. I'm gonna be there for weeks on Donkey Kong 64, just walking
That's
around.
fair.
um, and also again, lastly, I said lastly on 1545, but world record holder in AMF Extreme Bowling 2006.
Sure.
If you know, you know.
I
True
don't.
ball. It's an awful game. It's genuinely just an awful bowling sim on the PS2 that I found in a box at a local game store, and I was like, I wonder if this is any SRC submissions. Oh, it doesn't. I'll make it have one.
There you go.
And then I did a run submitted it.
Be
Yeah,
the change
just
you want to see in the world.
exactly. We need
Yeah.
more AMF extreme speedrunners. But yeah, and there's like a lot more that like I've looked at or wanted to and like learned. Like I learned all of Sly Cooper 1 any percent. I never did a run because
It'd be
it's
like
just
that
annoying.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like one trick in it that I really don't like, and I just
Mhm.
don't want to get to it in a run and spend 45 minutes on it in all honesty. And I've tried practicing it, but it's like
Yeah.
don't want to deal with it. But there's a lot more I want to do in speedrunning. Like I've talked about it before, but like Mario games, like 16 star, I've referenced it multiple times throughout this.
Hmm.
I love the idea of that category. I've never really bothered with SM64 very much. Like I played it casually, like a little bit, but it just looks so cool.
It's quite
And
fun.
like the
Um.
process of getting better at it looks so cool. And Project
Yes.
64 is like such a great tool because like you can just get into SM64. There's no financial commitment. It's so good, and like
Yeah.
I love it for that.
The movement is just feels great to execute. Um. The way I explain it is like you have to practice for speedrunning,
Yep.
obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
I do not enjoy practicing personally.
Hmm.
Uh, Mario 64, if I'm bored, I will practice that game for fun.
Yeah,
It is just so good. It just
that's how I feel about
feels
Spyro
good.
too.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly that kind of feeling.
Like I can't say Mario 1 feels good, you know?
Yeah,
You're hitting 30
fair.
frame perfect inputs, and if you don't, you reset, and then that's the whole run. Mario 64, I mean, there's so much movement variety, and it takes a long time to master getting from point A to point B more and more optimally. I don't know. You could just play that
Yeah,
game forever and never reach your full potential. And
yeah.
Mario 1,
It's
we are
it's so
almost
cool.
like tied with the task. So like I
Oh,
can't
dude,
say that for that
that's
game.
crazy.
Right?
Like I can't. I mean, I can believe it because here's like we talked about like just do it before.
Mm-hmm.
The most powerful thing in the world. It's not money, it's not influence, it's human spirit. And
Mm.
like human spirit leading to that, when that happens, that's
Nine
incredible.
frames. Nine
It
frames.
it will be so incredible, genuinely. And it's gonna happen. Like there's not
Yeah.
a doubt in my mind that people aren't going
I
to
had
get
a doubt
there.
in my mind for the longest time. It has finally gone away.
Yeah.
So,
It's all down to the human element.
oh
And the
god,
fact
don't.
that at this point people are going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen.
And
Like
when this comes
that could be
out
tomorrow.
on YouTube, sorry, when this comes out on YouTube, there was a bounty, like a $5,000
Mhm.
bounty on the world record that ends on the 31st.
Oh
So
wow,
that will be done by, it's not, it's still going
that's really
on
soon.
for us live, but if this
Yep,
is on YouTube, we know the results, which I think are
yep.
set in stone right now because I think everyone stopped.
Hmm.
I think the top three stopped grinding after the most recent record. So it's probably set in stone right now, but you never know. There could be a sudden
Maybe they're
surprise.
holding one. Maybe they're holding one up on YouTube, just waiting to post it.
I think that
They're
would
strat
be
hoarding.
incredibly frowned upon, so I don't think that's
Hey,
happening, but you never know.
I agree with you, but what if they did? What if they did?
I'd like to think I
It could
know
happen.
the community members well enough to know they
Yeah,
wouldn't do such a thing.
yeah.
But yeah,
No,
no,
I get you.
I'm happy to see that because it really invoked a lot of like push because you're at the
Yeah,
point where it's like you have to grind for weeks to save 1 or 2 frames and it's like, oh, whatever. But this was like, okay, I'll do that actually. And we saw like
yeah.
I forget exactly how many it was, but it was a few frames, like
Yeah.
a handful. So there you go.
That's that's pretty crazy. Like just like even that like that little bit of an improvement, pushing it a little bit further. But yeah, Mario 64 being a big game.
Oh yeah.
OG Mario, there's like a lot of games like I kind of have like my eye loosely on
Hmm.
for like the future. Like I don't know, have you ever looked at the idea of doing like GTA runs? I see that you have like the GTA haunting and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
You see, I get asked this all the time just
Hmm.
because of the name.
Yep.
Um, I made the name well before speedrunning, so oopsie dee. But I have like at least considered it just to shut everyone up. Not really, but like actually,
Hmm.
because it is interesting, but it's also so not what I run. I only run
Yeah, absolutely.
platformers,
Oh,
pretty
it's
much.
diametrically opposed if you
Yeah,
think
like
so. Like yeah.
my favorite game genre really is kind of like open world and a little bit of driving,
Hmm.
so it fits that obviously
Yeah.
perfectly. But yeah, speedrunning, like my tastes are so different.
Yeah.
I like the precision
It's
that
weird how that
comes with
works.
platforming. Yeah,
Yep.
so
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Listen, I've been thinking about Vice City, about San
Yeah,
Andreas.
I mean San
Yeah, dude,
Andreas is
those
my
games are
favorite
cool.
game of all time, so maybe.
Same,
Oh,
same.
perfect.
It
Uh,
is like outright GTA San Andreas, just full stop. Favorite game of all time.
well
I,
then.
I said
Oh,
to a friend of mine like recently, there's a world where I just never ran Spyro, and like I was playing GTA that day, and I was like, dude, I just want to keep playing GTA. And then you were like, you should try GTA speedrunning.
ooh,
Like there's a world where I'm just a San Andreas runner through and through,
that's
because
funny.
like I love that game, and I did one resetless of Definitive Edition
I'm
on
sorry.
yeah, it was
I'm
it was
sorry.
was 11 hours.
Ugh,
It was just me meandering around San Andreas for 11 hours in Monas, but it was fun.
yeah.
Still had a good time. Honestly, I don't mind Definitive as much as some people do. Like when
Oh,
it released, it was awful.
yeah.
Nowadays, it's gotten to a passable state, but it's nowhere near as good as like if you just mod San Andreas.
Yeah, of
Honestly,
course.
yeah. But
I was gonna
yeah.
mention
Continue. Sorry.
no, it's okay. I have obviously a PlayStation 2 copy of the game, signed by CJ himself. So
That's
yeah,
sick. That is
yeah,
so
yeah, it
cool.
is. Best
Yeah, that's
50
very
bucks
rad.
I've ever spent.
50?
Yeah, right. I
That's
mean, I met
crazy.
him in
That's a good.
person,
That's a
so
great deal. Oh, dude. Oh, so you spent it to?
yeah.
I thought
Like
you meant
I
like
didn't.
you were on like eBay and you found it. Got
Yeah.
you,
Oh, no, 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 no. I met CJ.
dude.
He
That's
said, "Oh
honestly
shit, here
fucking
we go
sick.
again." In marker on my case, it's great. I also
That's
got
so good.
also Michael and Franklin were there. Obviously, I'm saying their
Wow.
GTA
Okay. So
names,
yeah, you
but
were
yeah.
just at like a yeah.
Well, actually, it's funny. I was at it was SoCal Gaming Expo this year. That's where they were, and I was only there
Are
because
you from California?
no. I'll
Oh,
explain. Let me finish explaining for now.
sure.
But I was there because there was a Mario 1 speedrunning tournament. So
Oh, got you. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll do it.
So it all worked out very beautifully.
Yep.
Um, so yes, no, I am very much Midwest central area, so not anywhere
Gotcha.
near there. But
Yeah,
you got to make it out
that's cool though.
for the tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's something like that, you gotta pop on through. I was actually almost in California for an event that was hosted kind of recently called Spiral Summit that
Oh,
Deo was hosting. Deo man,
yeah, okay,
he invited me out, asked me, but it was like it traveled during the holidays, and
yeah,
I don't want to deal with that.
yeah.
It
I
would have been
always
fun, but
make
yeah,
event travel work, but like
yeah. I also had
sometimes you,
GDQ and like
yeah.
just next week too. It was like come back for like a week and a half, then travel again. It's like oh, I don't want to deal with that.
You see, um, I went to my first GDQ in 2018 summer, and except for summer 2019, every in-person GDQ since I've been to, and then I went to every pace post COVID, and these a couple other things. Would I recommend this financially? No, but I make it work somehow.
So big thing about life. You only got one of them, right?
Yeah.
Do the things you want to do. Money, you can always make more of it. Just go do things you
Hell
want to do. I if there's one thing that the last couple years of my life taught me, genuinely, as I get closer to 30, as I mentioned
yeah.
a couple times now, just live your life while you can and while you have the opportunities. If you have a chance, do everything you can to go take it. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that's your mentality of making it to events and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, for me, I was just like, I don't want to deal with the holiday travel, and it's not that the event wasn't cool enough or anything like that. It's just like I felt like they already had such a good roster of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have happily joined it.
Yeah.
But it's like I kind of feel like they have a good mixture, and I don't want to. You're baking a cake. It's gonna come out just right as it is. Let's not add the frosting and everything else while we're baking it. Let's
Mm-hmm.
let's go ahead and just like let that be. And in general though, I've been trying to make it a habit to make it to more events. Like, I was hoping to make it to this winter for ESA. Big fan of ESA. Love the venue. Love the people. Great culture there. But we're making it to GDQ AGDQ this year. It's gonna be fun. Love a lot of people there. Got a lot of friends out there. And if I could, I'd love to do them both. But
Mm-hmm.
you gotta find ways within reason.
Yeah.
But I plan on going to summer this year. It's
Okay.
coming year, and that's gonna be awesome because ESA summers, or like Swedish summers over there, beautiful weather. The last 2 years I've gone, put on some awesome marathon runs with them, and just had a great time. Like, I think some of my best memories from this hobby are in Malmo, Sweden. It's
Mm.
crazy. Like, I've had awesome memories right here in this bedroom and over in Pittsburgh for last year's the first GDQ I went to.
Mm.
Um, but like it's so unique
Yes.
and the atmosphere is so underground and like homey.
Hmm.
It's very nice. If there's one thing I will say I love about ESA above all else, it's that it's very professional, but it's not sanitized as much. And not that GDQ being sanitized is bad. It's actually wonderful because it allows for more people to be invited in. It
Yeah.
allows for that space to be unique to itself, right?
Hmm.
Um, like, are you familiar with wrestling at all, by
No.
chance? Okay. Um, how I like to refer to it is like WWE at the very least, right?
I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the big global corporation. They're the big guys. So like people
Yeah.
there, there's a certain way of doing things that you can't muddle the mixture. You can't stir the pot. There's another company called AEW, where it's a little bit more underground, a little bit more independent. I would describe ESA as kind of the AEW equivalent to GDQ's WWE, where it's awesome, and this is like your global stage. Everyone wants to be there, and everyone wants to participate and do what they can for it. But this stage is smaller stage, and there's cool stuff going on here as well. But like above all else, it's like a bit more like go ahead and do what you want to do. Like I said before, I put a guy through a table at that event.
All right.
I may have asked the wonderful people at GDQ if I could do that there, but it doesn't seem like there's a strong chance you'll be seeing anyone going through a table there in person.
I mean, they
You
did have a
know,
big wrestling thing.
yeah.
Uh, I
They
think
had Fight
last
Forever
GDQ.
last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a which I watched that run and yeah, it's cool to see that game showcase. That game is cool. I haven't ever like wanted to run it, but it looks very interesting as a speed game. But
GDQ's been
um
doing a lot more kind of unique things, going against
yeah,
what you'd expect. So you never
yeah,
know.
no, for sure. No, I think like when I say sanitize, what I mean more so is like I feel like there's like a level of safety with it
Well, yeah,
where
I
like
guess.
you know what you're getting every time. And that's wonderful. Like I said, it's great. And with ESA, I think it's just like a little bit more like there's an unpredictability to it. And not like in a way where I think it's presenting itself as unsafe to like its people, but like it's a little bit more willing to try things. Like I said, I did Yu-Gi-Oh! FM there
Mm.
and it was my fourth speed run of the game ever. And it ended up being a ton of fun. And like there was a lot of cool moments in it. And we got a lot of people involved and it raised a lot of money for Alzheimer's Fondant. And it's it's one of my favorite things I've done because it was just so outlandish and something I shouldn't have done, but I
Mm.
did. And just a sick time all in all.
Yeah.
I'll never not speak highly of my time with ESA. I loved it. Just you had to be there. You have to go at some point if you haven't already, man. I promise it'll be a great time for you.
Well, I will never go because cannot afford those travel prices. And there,
Yeah,
I have some
that
other reasons for
Midwest is
that,
a
but
lot.
that's the main one. Like
Yeah, I mean
I'd
that's
rather
fair.
just go to GDQ. I can afford that, and it's closer, and more people I know go there, and yeah. So
Mhm.
anyway,
Fair.
I my original point with this discussion is I was going to segue into your like marathon history, either just attending
Oh
or
yeah.
running. So anything else? Just what was your first event ever, actually?
So way back in the day, there was an event called Spyrothon, which you might imagine was an all Spyro marathon. It was my first marathon run.
Okay.
I did Reignited 14 Talisman in it,
Hmm.
shockingly.
Yeah.
Um, and it was, you know, very much just me stressing about every little detail and getting nervous and anxious and ultimately ended up being fine. I got like a 26 or something, which is good-ish. Um, and it was fun. It wasn't like anything crazy. And then my first in-person marathon run was for ESA. I performed 14 Talisman for them.
Okay.
Um, and then I did between then like a bunch of other marathons, like online ones. So, for example, if I go to my Oingus real quick, let me
Mm,
pull this thingy up.
great website.
It's very nice. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it
I
Oingus?
have no
I've never been able
idea.
to
I've
figure it out.
never been able to do it, but I am just happy there's like a easy centralized place to find all your online marathons and submit stuff. That's been so helpful because I remember back when that wasn't a thing, and dear God, was it hard to know
Hmm.
when everything happened.
Yep. So, it looks like The first run I did in a marathon setting was for FTLG, or for the love of gaming, where I did some Vortex. Then for their retro event, which was, I think, just a couple of weeks or months later, if I'm remembering right, I did 14 Talisman for them. Um, I've done Summer Dreamathon, more FTLG, ESA Summer, Slurpathon, Breaking the Habit, Wild West Marathon, Marathon Alliance, Mini Insta Speedathon, Really Longathon, No Holidays Allowed, Aquathon, Complete-a-thon, Armed with Their Speed, ESA Jingle Jam, and actually as recently as this weekend I did a completion 337 speedrun for ESA, as well as Nelson Alex's speedrun marathon, which I think is called Nissan Thon. Um, the names sometimes lose place in my head because I know they're four, but the name behind it can get lost. So I've done a lot of marathon runs. And the first one I really would consider like my first proper in-person one was, of course, like I said, the ESA Summer one for 14 Tally, which was a very stressful run. I will say that. Notably, I didn't know this at the time, really. I didn't notice or know how it really worked when it came to like the technical side of things, but I ran on a console, right? And I had a really crappy upscaler that I bought off Amazon for like $10.
Hell yeah.
And you get used to the input delay because you don't, when you play on all the time, it's like, that's fine. I had gotten this run in. I'd been practicing playing, doing runs. I'm like, I'm doing great. This is going to be an awesome run. I'm going to have a great marathon. I get to Sweden, and I'm like, it's day before, and I'm like, all right, sweet. Like, let me go check in with tech, like, do whatever they asked me to. They tell me, like, oh, you're running this OSSC thing. Oh, what's that? Is that like an upscaler? Oh, yeah, no, it's just like your upscaler, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. And my friend Kara has an upscaler, the same upscaler. And I'm like, Kara, do you mind if I just play this? I just want to feel if there's like any like little differences or anything like that. Night and day
Yeah.
difference. And there's a lot of precision in the tricks you do in Spyro. There's a lot of not quite frame perfect, but frame preciseness in it. And it was going from a pretty significant amount of delay to basically no delay. Which, while it does sound very good, it means I had to remap my muscle memory for this entire category the day before. And that includes Sproto and Ripto. So, and I had an ego about it too, because that trick had never been done in a marathon. It was deemed not marathon safe. But here I am, I'm like 40, 50% at it at this point. I'm like, I'm really good. I'm going to hit it. And I get to the run and I am just losing my mind. Because like I had all this stuff prepped. I had like this again, I know you're not a wrestling fan, but I had Hulk Hogan inspired gear with like my name on it. A little like lay and like we'll follow the whole thing, like all this stuff. I had the song Real American remade in the Spyro sound font by a friend of mine, which is like a very iconic wrestling song. Do this whole thing, and then I have to do my run. And I am just losing my mind because I'm nervous because my first in-person marathon. I had to remap my muscle memory the day before and really refigure out all the things for the category. And I put on a run with like an hour and a half of sleep. And it is stressful as it can be going into it. But as the first couple minutes pass, loosens up.
In the zone.
Loosens up. And then we lock in for a little bit. We have a pretty good run up to Sprout and Ripto. And I almost hit it first try, miss it. Then I fell a couple more times. A game over. I continue, hit it first try after the game over. Right as I tell the dono reader, hey, if you want to read anything, feel free. It might take me a little while. As soon as they start reading, I just start saying, yes! just pop it off like nobody's business, because it's I was a minute. My estimate was I think 34 minutes for ESA Summer. Actually, it doesn't say it here. Hold on. 34 minutes, yeah. And I got like a 30-31. My PB at the time was like a 25-51. And getting that trick first for the first time in a marathon, very exciting. I would have gotten it sooner than that, if I didn't have free muscle memory though. Um, but what can you do? It's one of those circumstances where they have certain things where they run it. Same thing with GDQ. I actually asked if I could just bring
Yeah.
my straight up setup. They were like, "No, we have stuff for you. You got to use it this way." I'm like, "Okay." And it's something you learn as you do these things more. But it ended up being fine. Ended up being good even. Incredible time with all that.
Yeah. Well, underestimate and hit the hard things. So you did all you needed to do.
Yep. And honestly, dude, it was like they were. When I say like the folks from ESA, like not like the people I know, but the people I didn't know, so accommodating, so kind about everything. I couldn't have asked for more genuine kindness in my life. Like from all the wonderful people there, like just stellar group of folks. Really helped me get settled in, set up, everything, and it made it as comfortable as I could be, despite the fact that they needed to have it this way.
Yeah.
Like they let me know, they made sure like, hey, listen, you got all this time. If you need to swap, we can swap the time with this person, see if that works. No, we're gonna go for this, and it was awesome, dude. They were so accommodating, and that run sticks out to me as like the big first one, And then
Yeah.
obviously this year I got to do 2 runs, actually 3 runs for them. I did a Aspire 28% run at 3 in the morning for them because they had an open time slot for somebody who didn't show up, and they were like, "Hey, listen, we need a run. Could you just run down here?" I was in the practice room already,
Yeah,
so it
of
was like
course.
just right over next door, and set up and did all that. It was awesome. We put on like a decent like little show there, and then did my 100 egg run, and then FM run, and that was all just a ton of fun. And I got to commentate. I did like 11 runs this ESA summer with
Jesus.
all the commentary
Oh,
and
okay.
things I ended up doing, like um I participated in the Flash Game Gauntlet, which is just a
Yeah,
series of Flash games, which was a ton of fun.
I remember
Every
that.
time I'm asked to participate, I say yes, but give me a game that is like worthless. Like nobody wants to play it, and make sure it's like it's just clicking a button because I don't want to actually learn a Flash game
Mm,
unless it's like one of the Zelda ones. 'Cause some of those ones were really cool. Um, so I did that. I commentated multiple Spyro runs. I commentated every Spyro run of like 6, except for one.
Jesus.
Um,
It's a lot of Spyro.
because yeah, I'm a chatterbox and I know a lot about them, so I'm a good person to grab and be like, hey, could you talk for me a little bit? I got you. Um, and yeah, it's just genuinely just a stellar time, man. Like like I was saying, I was talking up the event itself, but like just the last 2 years of it, nothing but great memories for me. Great, awesome crew there. I couldn't be prouder to be part of an event like that. And same thing with EDQ this year. I'm so ecstatic to put my best foot forward for them and see what I can do to show up, pull out donations and everything, and hopefully this is my goal for it, and I know this is everybody's goal for it. It should be at least. I want to have the run of the event. People walk away from AGDQ 2026. I want them to be talking about Spyro 2. Um, and hopefully donating a lot of money because of it. That's my goal at least, man.
Fair enough. Well, I asked usually everything that I do. Um, so, I mean, is there anything in your history we didn't go over that you'd like to?
Not particularly.
Covered
You know,
everything pretty well.
more or less, I think I told you most of the story. I mean, we can go into like the little side chapters here and there, but I feel like we'd be here for weeks if I did.
Yeah. Remember when you were saying like, "Oh, you can get an hour out of me. We're almost at 3," like I was saying. These things happen.
Are we almost at
Yeah.
3?
Uh-huh. Everyone always says, "Oh, this isn't going to take
Yeah.
that long, right?" And I'm like,
Yep.
"You have no idea what you're signed up for."
Yeah, no, it's fair. Um, yeah, no, listen, if there's anything I can say here at the end, I don't really got much more of a story for you unless we're gonna dive into all that.
No.
Um, something I can say here is if you're out there and you watch speedruns or you speedrun yourself, whatever it is that you're doing, just kind of keep doing it. Seriously, I mentioned it a little bit earlier.
Yep.
Whatever's going on, whatever thing that you want to be doing, if you keep doing it every day, you keep trying at every day, eventually you'll break through whatever the wall is, whether it be trying to get a time in a speed run, whether it be trying to get views on a YouTube video, whether it be trying to break through as a Twitch partner, whether it be trying to try and do whatever you're doing, really. The only thing I will say above all else, and this is true for speedrunning, but it's true for everything in life, is if you try, if you keep committing to it, it's only a matter of time until you do it. You know, it's it sounds funny when you address it to speedrunning because
Yeah, I know,
it is just a
right?
matter of time.
It is.
I actually I have like a little bit of a I don't want to plug it, but I have a clothing brand where one of the shirts is just it's a matter of time XX:XX for a little nod to speedrunning. I liked it. I liked it a lot. But yeah, dude, that's what I want to leave people with if they're still listening. Just whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, and eventually you'll get where you want to be. It's just how it works.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and do the closing then, because
Right.
we have reached the end. So, first, future plans. Got any
Future plans.
future runs, future content, whatever?
So future runs. I mean, really after GDQ, and I've been grappling with this for a while. I was thinking, do I put it down for like a little bit? Do I put the controller down? Do I stop messing with tallies for like a little bit? Do I do something else? No,
No,
we're gonna keep playing tallies.
fair enough.
It's very simple. There's a goal in mind, and there's a white whale on the horizon. And whether I go for the white whale or I go for the 22XX and say we're good, then I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But yeah, 22 and 14 tallies is the next big goal of mine. Other runs, probably some other stuff in Spyro. I'm planning on doing some stuff with some of the Crash games in the near future. That 12-hour challenge with Jack and Daxter I mentioned. That'll be happening probably towards the end of January, if I were to guess. I am planning a community showcase marathon, which will be hosted on both my channel and potentially with ESA. I don't know exactly who all is going to be hosting what, but it's going to be my little way of giving back to people who have supported me and trying to showcase their talents and what they do in speedrunning. That's something that's coming up probably around February, middle of February, I'd imagine. I don't know if this counts as an event, but I'm planning a subathon at some point. That's going to happen at some undisclosed date. I've written down some ideas, but I really suck at coming up with ideas for these things because it's like, how do you make X sub mean this thing in my head? I struggle with that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do with that, but I like mentally I'm like,
I've never done a subathon, so I'm good.
yeah,
Never had to think about it.
It confuses me. It doesn't quite compute in my head quite yet, but I've been thinking about the idea and people have been asking me to see about doing one, so I'm trying to put it all together. That's coming up. Hopefully in the near future. Like I said, ESA summer I'll be going to, traveling over there. So if you're gonna be there, stop in, say hi, say what's up. It's gonna be a great time. I'm really looking forward to the future with that event. Obviously, like we've talked about many a time, HEDQ and when this is airing.
Yes, go watch GDQ after this.
Yes,
and your run if it either is just about to happen or just happened. They're really good at uploading the VODs like immediately. So
oh, dude, they're like instant on it.
I know.
I commentated a Spyro Reigniter run last year for them, and I literally went back to the person who was running it lived in Pittsburgh, so we went back to his apartment like a couple hours later, and I pull up my phone and it literally is just him on the thumbnail. I'm like,
that's fast.
was this like a couple of days? Like did we like fall asleep? Like what happened?
Nope, they're instant now. It's crazy.
Dude, they are. I'll tell you what, they run a tight ship. If nothing else, they run the tightest ship I've seen in this hobby. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like they are professionals.
They are a hard-working, dedicated crew of gamers that I have the utmost respect for. So
yeah,
that's for sure.
Dude, I feel that, man. I really do. But yeah, no, GDQ very soon. Tune in like GTA's just said. Pop in a whole 9. That's gonna be awesome. I mentioned before season finale, but it's not the series finale because we got plenty left in the tank, and we're gonna be doing this till the wheels fall off. I think trying to not to sound too corporate about it or too business minded about it, but we're growing the stream,
Hmm.
growing the community, growing the Spyro scene. That's what my goal is into 2026 and into the future, is just grow as many people's game as I can, express my love for it, get as many people involved as I possibly even remotely can, and just keep going until I can.
Well, there you go. Well, on that note, the last thing I'll ask is self promote however you want.
Oh, sweet. So you can find me anywhere that you wish on Twitch, be it on YouTube. Both usernames DylanJayFox. I upload my PBs on YouTube and stuff like that. I am looking to maybe make some content in the vein of like some speedrunning related things. I have done tutorials and stuff like that. If you want to learn 14 talisman, I have a beginner's guide for that main category that I run. It's pretty easy to learn. There's a couple things that are hard, but you can learn from there. It's on my YouTube. Again, DylanJayFox on everything. Blue Sky, DylanJayFox, Twitter, DylanJayFox. Um, yeah, just drop me follows wherever if you'd like to. Subscribe, whatever have you. And I hope to see you around. And if you came in from this podcast, make sure you let me know the way I can let GTS know that you popped in from here.
Huge. And links are on the screen. Links are in the YouTube description. Click on them, and then click on mine, and then click on GDQ's, and then you're probably good for the day. So there you go. Well, on that note, I think that's everything. I think we can finally hit the stop streaming / recording buttons. So
Yep.
huge. But yeah, thanks everyone
Awesome.
for watching as always. And if you're watching live, I will do another episode tomorrow because I also have to record in advance for the Sunday after because I'll still be gone for GDQ. But yeah.
Big shift here. Big shift.
If you only watch on YouTube, it'll be business as usual. So, but yep, that's all I've got. So take care and goodbye. And watch GDQ.
Catch you later.
Bye.